Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
I like it. What else do you have?
Here's one. It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
Looks like the same car.
Exactly the same. But this one's $120 less per month.
What's the catch?
No catch if you use Credit Union of Texas. Let me show you.
With the Credit Union of Texas Flex Auto Loan, you get the car of your dreams. Lower payments, no hassle. Get started now at cutx.org.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. Yeah! He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Godarzi & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Godarzi & Young.
Do you enjoy watching your favorite TV programs on your smartphone or tablet? Or maybe you'd rather watch them on your Roku or Amazon Fire TV. Tired of having to change your TV input from your old traditional cable to watch your favorite streaming apps? If so, we have great news for you. Etex is making the move to streaming and has launched a new app. Etex TV allows you to watch over 130 channels in full HD on your streaming or mobile devices. This means you can simply download the Etex TV app, subscribe, and start watching. With all your favorite functions like DVR and Pause Live TV, and new features like Restart TV. To learn more, visit www.etex.net or contact a customer service rep at 903-797-HELP. That's 903-797-4357.
Texas Heritage National Bank would like to invite the Buckeye Nation to visit our new full-service bank in Gilmer. We're conveniently located on Highway 271 and Rebud Street with a brand new facility ready to serve our friends and neighbors. We offer competitive rates on all of our deposit products, as well as some great options for business financing to help your business grow from 5 employees to 500 employees. Texas Heritage National Bank would also like to take this time to thank all the teachers, administrators, and school board for investing in the future of our kiddos. We'd also like to wish all the student athletes a wonderful and safe year. Come see us soon.
It's gonna be alright. How can you tell? I feel it in my heart. It's gonna
Casey's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
At First National Bank, together we're better. We're a regional bank, big enough for all of East Texas, that cares and is invested in the people and communities we serve, with the strength and services to meet the needs of every customer, big or small. From business financing for big companies and small mom and pops to our family of personal banking customers. First National Bank of East Texas. Together, we're better. And we think that's kind of a big deal.
Please join Jeff Rash and Alan Metzel each Monday morning for the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. Every week, Jeff and Alan discuss elements of the program, speak with special guests, give player updates, review key plays from the prior week, and give insights on the opponent for the current week. As a fan, this is your chance to go into the locker room and behind the scenes. To view the Coaches Show, go to GilmerBuckeyes.com and click on the Coaches Show button. Go Buckeyes!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Texarkana, Texas, on the campus of Pleasant Grove High School, where your Gilmer Buckeyes get ready to face off in this district tilt against the Pleasant Grove Hawks. This is a circle that has been on the calendar for a long time, as these two teams both coming off of bye weeks. For the Gilmer Buckeyes, they've been off the last 2 weeks. Pleasant Grove off last week, and it's all 0-0. Pleasant Grove comes into tonight's contest at 4-1. The Buckeyes come in undefeated. Gilmer ranked number 2 in the state in the AP poll. Pleasant Grove number 3 in the state in the AP poll. Lots of expectations and really a playoff atmosphere here tonight from Texarkana. We welcome the Army of Buckeyes joining us back in Gilmer and across the world. We'll be sending special shout outs as the captains come onto center of the PG logo at midfield. It looks like Pleasant Grove has won the toss and elected to receive, so the black flag will start off first tonight as we get ready to kick off this contest. I'm Todd Robinson, your host for tonight's show, joined by Mr. Joe Dodd. We send a shout out to the voice of the Buckeyes, Jeff Rash, who is home tonight, and get well, Jeff, and the whole family at the Rash household tonight. We will get back to kick things off right after these messages, and we welcome you and are looking forward to tonight's contest. We'll be right back.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
I like it. What else do you have?
Here's one. It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
Looks like the same car.
Exactly the same. But this one's $120 less per month.
What's the catch?
No catch if you use Credit Union of Texas. Let me show you.
With the Credit Union of Texas Flex Auto Loan, you get the car of your dreams, lower payments, no hassle. Get started now at cutx.org.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
Welcome back here to Texarkana, Texas, as we get ready to kick things off. The Buckeye Black Flag defense will lead off tonight's contest against the Pleasant Grove Hawks. We are mic checking and getting ourselves ready here tonight, and welcome fans from all over the world joining us tonight. The Buckeyes come in tonight undefeated, ranked number 2 in the state, to square off against the district foe, Pleasant Grove Hawks, who come into tonight 4-1. Their only loss to Shreveport Bird. Much like the Buckeyes, Coach Josh Gibson here, Joe, trying to get his team prepared for this night, this entire preseason, really works up to this night. Both teams really expecting this to be for the district championship. Two highly ranked teams, and you could already see the strategy for Josh Gibson and these Pleasant Grove Hawks. They're going to be doing everything they can to keep the ball away from the Buckeyes. They run fast. They are going to do everything they can to play as quickly as possible and make this game go fast, keep away from the Buckeyes, and depth is going to be the name of the game tonight.
Well, you said it as far as like the district championship, because really that's what's on the line here. It's much more than just two rivals and two teams that played a lot the last few years. This is essentially for the district championship.
Here's the kick back, taking about the 25-yard line. Number 6 is going to take it. He's going to go down inside the 30. Great tackle there by number 15, Darden, for the Buckeyes. And the black flag comes on the field first and foremost. Joe, this is a different offense that we've seen. The quarterback for the Pleasant Grove Hawks is a little bit of a dual threat, so he's not a turnaround and handoff guys we've seen from the past, but they are very, very run heavy behind big number 44. We'll talk about that talented running back, but they run the football.
Yeah, statistically they run the ball 87% of the time and only throw 13% of the time. So unless they decide to come out here and do something radically different, which is usually not what Pleasant Grove does, they've got a program now and they usually stick to what they know will get better.
Here's the snap, quarterback draw right up the middle, and boy, does they run into a host of Buckeyes, starting with number 24, the Gilmer Buckeyes on that tackle. That's big, Alazio Castillo, and that goes for maybe a half-yard loss, Joe. So pound the rock straight up the middle is something that the Buckeye Black Flag defense not having first right out of the box.
3 Buckeyes there to meet them. One thing that's pretty obvious tonight is, their offensive line's not near as big as it's been in years past, and usually they really outweigh us quite a bit on those lines, and it's not the case tonight. So that might be in the Buckeyes' favor. Who knows?
Big number 44 in the backfield with Johnson now coming under center. He takes the snap. They're going to hand it to number 7 up the middle, and once again he may pick up 3 yards out across the 30-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. Not exactly where Pleasant Grove wants to be, Joe, early in this game as they run the football, and 3rd and long is not to their advantage.
No, it's not. But, obviously they don't panic. They don't look at 3rd and long or 3rd and 6 the way a lot of running teams do because they are so explosive. But, with a defense like Gilmer has and have shown already in the first 2 plays, I'm sure they'd rather it be 3rd and 1, obviously, than 3rd and 6.
On their offense, Joe, it's going to be all about their running back, and that's big number 7. Who's got offers everywhere. We'll talk about it. 3rd down and 6. Here's the snap. They're going to run it outside once again. Tries to cut back in and runs into a host of Buckeyes. Lost a yard. Absolutely 0. Black flag. 3 and outs Pleasant Grove to start this game. And, Joe, you said it. Pleasant Grove is not the same absolute just massive humanity that we've seen in the past. I actually think maybe we have a size advantage.
Yeah, it's been at least 5 years since I've seen an offensive line this small for Pleasant Grove. And it's a marked difference. It's one of the things I first noticed when I walked out onto the field before the game tonight.
It's the field wasn't tilting.
Exactly.
Here's the punt. It's going to be inside his own 20. The dangerous, ever dangerous Roe Fluellen standing back at his own 30-yard line. It's a great punt straight up. Roe's going to stay away from it. Let it hit. Takes a Buckeye bounce backwards, and the Buckeyes are going to set up shop. They touch that at the 40-yard line. Well, they'll mark that. And the fast break Buckeye offense coming on the field led by Caden Tennyson. And let's talk about speed, Joe, because the Buckeyes have it to burn.
Yeah, the Buckeyes have it to burn. The 4x200 meter relay and the 4x100 meter relay last year for Gilmer. Should have made it, both of them state, but they managed just to make the 4x200 meter. And they've got a real shot this year of winning both of them.
And maybe winning the state track meet for the first time since 2014.
Exactly.
That was a pretty good year, Joe. Tennyson back in the shotgun, takes it his own 30. He's going to roll out to his right. He's got all kinds of room. He reaches back to throw, throws a strike to Roe Fluellen. 1st down. Roe is still in bounds. It looks like he stepped out across midfield to the 47. 1st and 10, strike off the right-hand roll from Caden Tennyson. That is a good-looking play.
That's no surprise there. Last year in 2 games against Pleasant Grove, Fluellen had 15 catches for 308 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the name Fluellen strikes fear in the heart. Here comes a screen pass to number 7. He's got it around the right side, and that's a play that has worked very well for the Buckeyes. Of course, that's Tarek Tate, the dangerous Tarek Tate that went 63 yards with that same play against Lindale.
Well, Tarek's a big kid, and he's fast. He's got a bright future ahead of him, just a junior.
Yeah, he reminds me of Dez so much. You just see an NFL future there. 2nd and short for the Buckeyes. A good position to be in at the Pleasant Grove 41-yard line. First drive of the evening. Offset back to the left is Ashton Haynes trying to get some things set. Here comes motion. It's going to be a handoff to Haynes straight up the middle. And Ashton gets maybe inside the 40 for a 2-yard gain.
About 2 yards, right.
Brings up 3rd and short. This is probably 4-down territory if the Buckeyes can keep things going forward and not have a negative play here. Obviously want to move the chains. 9:15 left to play in this first quarter. Buckeyes 3-and-out Pleasant Grove to start, and this is their first drive now inside Pleasant Grove territory.
I would believe you're right. It's 4-down territory if they don't get it here because a punt won't get them much and it's too long for a field goal.
Trips to the left. Caden Tennyson in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's going to reach back. They're going to throw it out to Ruff Llewellyn. Makes the catch and gets blown up 2 yards deep in the backfield by big corner number 6, and he is a Division I player. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 4. Offense staying on the field.
And that made it, sorry, Todd, I said that made it a little bit more of a decision because they lost a couple of yards. So, you know, instead of being 4th and 2, now it's 4th and about 4. So, you know, but it looks like they're not going to bring anybody out. Now, obviously, Tennyson can punt, so he could drop back at the last second, but looks like the Buckeyes are going to go for it.
4th and 4, they need the 38. They're spotted at the 42. Tennyson's going to fake. They're going to go across the middle. Touch. First down to the sure-handed. I thought that it was going to break there. That's number 17, Ruff Llewellyn, inside the 30. The TCU commit delivers on 4th down and 4, and what a strike from Caden Tennyson, Joe.
Well, already, like we said, Llewellyn seems to like something about Pleasant Grove. 2 catches already on this drive for him.
1st and 10, Buckeyes inside the 30. Here's Caden Tennyson in the shotgun. Trying to draw Pleasant Grove off sides, takes the snap, hands it up the middle to Ashton Haynes, driving his legs, gets about 5 yards on that carry inside the 25. Nice pickup there, Joe, on 1st down.
You know, Ashton really is a really good inside the tackle back. He really has powerful legs, and you saw it right there. He really got 3 yards just by turning around backwards and pushing his legs hard.
Buckeyes to the fast, straight up the middle, and we've got a flag down, as I think to Eric Tate was not set out there, number 7.
We weren't the only ones not set. Eric was not set on that one, so that's how fast the Buckeyes are trying to go, obviously, to keep the defense a little bit off kilter. But in that instance, it hurt the Buckeyes.
Yeah, negative play there on 2nd down is going to take us back to the 30-yard line where it's going to be 2nd and 11. Not exactly what the Buckeyes wanted to see. They're trying to play fast and get into that fast-paced offense, but backfires. Come the line of scrimmage once again, get everything set up. Tennyson in the shotgun. Offset back to the right is Ashton Haynes. Motion man is Darden. Drop back to pass. They're going to go up top, but throws an interception, threw it to the wrong man, just in the wrong side there. And that is a flag back to the 35. But Caden just threw it to the wrong guy.
Well, okay, so obviously the quarterback and receiver are not on the same page because the receiver broke to the outside. He threw it back towards the inside, straight up on the the route inside, and obviously we don't know which one of them was wrong, but
somebody was.
Tennyson or the receiver, one of the two. But there is a flag on the play, and there might be more than one depending on how things went out.
Well, I think it was an illegal block on the return, but I think it was probably after. Yes, that is going to be an illegal block taken from the 33, and that is a turnover for the Buckeyes, which they're +9 on the year, Joe, according to your stats in the turnover ratio.
So the 3rd turnover of the year in their 5th game now, and all 3 were interceptions. But we have a sophomore quarterback, and we're not even 100% sure if that was his fault or not. But
exactly.
You'll see things like that, and, you know, those things are to be expected. And, you know, both coaches tell you that they feel like the team that has the least amount of turnovers and penalties tonight will win it, and that's very likely, the outcome. But we'll see how the Buckeyes defense responds. That was essentially a punt. We'd rather score, but that was essentially a punt. They got the ball at about the 24-yard line.
After a 4th down conversion, the Buckeyes turn it over on a miscommunication between Eric Tate and Caden Tennyson, and here comes Pleasant Grove. Johnson takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself, and he runs headlong into the Buckeye linebacker, scraping there, only a 2-yard gain on 1st down.
You know, if you're a linebacker and you like to hit, which my little brother Daniel Dodd was an all-state linebacker for Gilmer on the state championship team in 2004.
Now the Buckeyes
linebacker coach, and he's got a couple of guys that really like to hit. This is the game. This is a dream game for them.
It is very much an SEC feel when you come to Pleasant Grove, Joe, because they love to run the football. and they love to kind of play power ball and take their time. They'll take 2nd and 2, but Joe, they really got to pick up positive yards on 1st and 2nd down to stay ahead of the
And they'll lull you into sleep, and every now and then they'll pop back and hit a pass. So we got to be careful at all times.
Johnson fakes it, and he gets tackled down by number 40. He picks up about 3 across the 30-yard line to bring up 3rd down and 4. Once again, a money down and opportunity to get off the field for this black flag.
Yeah, once again, we said that the Buckeyes, we'll see how the defense responds to this. They had a little bit of time to rest because the offense held the ball for a little bit. And, they're picking up some yardage, but Pleasant Grove is used to picking up a lot more yardage with each play. And I think they're going to continue to get frustrated until they break one. So hopefully Buckeyes defense can, keep doing what they're doing so far through the first, 5 plays of the game.
Yeah, not much offense for Pleasant Grove running the ball, which is their bread and butter, what they do. 3rd and 4, here's the snap. It's Johnson straight up the middle, and he's not going to get much, Joe. As a matter of fact, he's going to lose a yard. 4th down once again for Josh Gibson and these Pleasant Grove Hawks, and they're going to have to punt it for the 2nd possession in a row back to Roe Llewellyn.
Yeah, it's not 4-down territory for Pleasant Grove here. This is just one of those games where really you see 2 good teams filling each other out right now. Just trying to see what works, and each team comes in with a set of plays, and they do that a lot of times, see what each other lines up defensively and all sorts of stuff, and then they make adjustments based on that. So that just seems to be what's happening right now in the first part of this game.
Here's the punt once again to Llewellyn, who's going to have an opportunity this time, and that bounces straight up in the air once again, and this time takes a little bit of a Pleasant Grove bounce inside the 30-yard line to the 26. And for the second drive tonight, Caden Tennyson will bring the Buckeye offense onto the field. 5:11 left to play here in this first quarter. No score, Joe.
Yeah, good punt by the Pleasant Grove punter there. A lot of hang time. That's what kept, Llewellyn from trying to go underneath it. I mean, they had already got their coverage down there, so there was no sense in trying to catch that. And it didn't bounce too far. So, Buckeyes obviously not near as good field position as they had last time, but, they like to rack up the yards too. So
1st and 10, Buckeyes from their own 26-yard line. Caden Tennyson in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap and hand it to Ashton Haynes straight up the middle. He finds a little gap and twists down close to the 29 for about a 3-yard pickup.
Well, once again, Ashton's got some speed. Obviously not Will Henderson speed, but he's a first-team All-State running back, all-purpose back, because he's really good in the passing game. He has 7 touchdowns in 3 games already, and I think 2 or 3 of those are, from receptions. So he's a very dangerous back.
Caden Tennyson once again on 2nd down, and let's call it 7. Roe Llewellyn now in a deep pistol formation, out of motion. And they're going to hand it to Llewellyn, who gets outside, and he's going to be tackled maybe for a 1-yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 now for the Buckeyes. We have not seen that play before, Joe.
Well, we've seen Roe Llewellyn on the fly sweep and things similar, not that exact play. And for whatever reason, as great a player as he is, he never gets the ball on a run in a good position, and he literally averages, I think, 1 yard a carry pretty much, because, it just never works when they hand it to Roe on a run for some reason.
Trips out to the right-hand side. Caden Tennyson in a passing situation. Takes it's got pressure. He escapes, and now we've got a flag down, and I don't know if that's a hold or if that's going to be a face mask.
Or maybe a hit to the helmet.
Yeah, let's see what that is. Whitehead has his helmet knocked off as he threw the flag.
But you saw, their defensive line's getting after, the Buckeyes' offensive line. It looks like size-wise it's a pretty even match, although they do have a couple of pretty big kids down there. You got the Jackson. Okay, you got the Jackson kid, number 40, that is a sophomore, and then of course you've got the kid that Jeff Traylor's convinced to go down to UTSA, even though he has offers from all sorts of SEC and Big 12 schools on that defensive line. So, they've got the horses there that can get after them, and you saw it on that play. Luckily, they had a penalty and kept the Buckeyes alive.
Face mask for the Buckeyes gives them a 1st down at their own 44. 1st and 10 now. Tennyson once again in the shotgun, takes it, rolls out to his right to the wide side of the field, looks up top, throws it to number 7 deep.
Oh, he pulled up. He's got looked like a ham or something on him. Hope he's okay, but
that's to Eric Tate, who stopped running and is limping visibly on that play.
You never know for sure, but it looked like he obviously had a step or 2 on him, and usually that ball, it looked like it would have fallen right to him. If he hadn't have, come up lame, it probably would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, something going on with Eric there. That's a big loss for the Buckeyes as he
can barely get off the field.
He is struggling over there as the trainers go to his aid. 2nd and 10 once again after the face mask penalty for the Buckeyes. Twins to the right, single receiver to the left, offset back to the left. It's going to be a screen pass. Caden throws it away. And we've got a penalty flag, which may be intentional grounding as they came after Roflu.
Well, I wish I knew this rule a little bit better, but he also flipped it almost underhanded. So I was wondering if they would have been able to recover it because they were running after it, but luckily it rolled out of bounds. So I'm not sure they're going to call that like a fumble and have it where it goes out of bounds, or if they are going to call it, intentional grounding. Because obviously there was no receiver there, and I'm not sure he got out of the tackle box either. So
yeah,
and didn't get past the line of scrimmage, certainly not.
This is going to be third and loss of down if that is an intentional grounding call, as we've got a Pleasant Grove Hawk that is down on the play.
But either one is not good for the Buckeyes, because if it rolled out of bounds as a fumble and they still lost the down, and they're still going to get it there, and
no matter
neither
what,
one is not good.
To your point, Joe, no matter what, this is going to bring up third down and about 22, let's call it, as we'll see what the Buckeyes have as they tried to go up top to Eric Tate, who looked like he had a step on the receiver and pulled up lame, and he is still over there on the sideline getting attention, and I'm not sure that he comes back, Joe.
I may have missed it, but Pleasant Grove does have a player down the field right now as well. That's why we have a little stoppage time and play. But like you said, it's going to be third and about 22, 23, somewhere along there. Oh, you're in a commercial already?
Okay. Let's go quickly to a commercial. Well, actually, let's stay here, Eric, because we've got the Pleasant Grove Hawk getting himself up. That's number 60 for Pleasant Grove. Warm ovation. Looks like he turned his ankle there. And we will see what the Buckeyes do here after picking up a first down on a face mask penalty.
I was saying normally you'd think the Buckeyes, they've got plays where they think they can pick up 25 yards. But if you're facing a rush like that, it severely limits what you can do that will develop into a 25-yard play. So I would think whatever they do is probably going to be something quick here, because they've certainly been putting on a heavy rush this series.
Yeah, bringing linebackers from both sides, really pinching down, challenging this Buckeye offensive line. Third down and 20. Let's see if they drop back into coverage or they come after Caden Tennyson. They come after him. It's a screen pass to number 4, Bowman, who manages to keep his feet but does not even get back to the line of scrimmage. Good call, just a little bit off there for number 4, Bowman, and that's going to bring up a punting situation for the Buckeyes for the first time tonight.
Yeah, that pass rush just, hurries everything, made it throw it just a little bit early, so Bowman had to stretch, and it looked like he was going to fall down and not even get it. But he managed to regain his balance, but that gave the defensive back enough time to get to him and tackle him. No gain on the play at all.
So fourth and long as the Buckeyes punt for the first time tonight. Number 2 is back deep for the Pleasant Grove Hawks, and that is Johnson, the quarterback. And here's the snap, and the punt is a rugby-style punt. It's going to bounce out of bounds. Not great coverage.
Well, just the fact that they put their quarterback back to return punts, it kind of gives you an idea of what their philosophy is on offense. He is a running back.
Yeah, that is why he's back there. And again, it's a weird situation up here in Texarkana, folks, for those who don't know. We want to send a special shout out tonight to the class of 1972 who's at Duds on the Lake tonight. Your classmate Philip Williams sends his regards here from the press box as they're celebrating their 50th class reunion. Congratulations. And we want to say special hello tonight to Mr. Rex Morris and Les, the Morris family out listening to us tonight, and appreciate them as always. Been Buckeye fans since I remember when they moved into our neighborhood.
Well, and since I'm here, he's probably not listening, and he didn't know I was going to be announcing tonight, but my son Parker Dodd up in Provo, Utah, usually is cleaning the Wilkinson Center, the student building, for one of his jobs, and he usually listens to the game while he does it. So I'll say hello to Parker if he happens to be listening.
So on that play, it was a stretch play to the right-hand side under heavy pressure, a pass play to number 40.
And that kind of shows you, they throw the ball 13% of the time. That just gives you an example right there.
There was your 1 out of 10.
Like I said, he's a running back.
Yeah, trying to keep it honest to bring up second down and 10 for Pleasant Grove. Best field position tonight that they have had, starting at their own 38. 2:53 left to play in the first quarter. Still no score, as we have had a couple of exchanges, an interception for Pleasant Grove against Caden Tennyson, and a couple of punts from Pleasant Grove brings up 2nd and 10. Here's the snap under center. They're going to turn around and hand off straight ahead, and it is going to go nowhere. Thank you, number 44, for the Gilmer Buckeyes. That's big. Braylon Ward taking care of business. Bring up 3rd down and 8 from the 40.
Well, like I said, this is what they do, except normally they're used to getting more yardage and staying on the field. Because the way they win ball games is to just keep the ball away from the offense, especially when you have an offense as explosive as Gilmer's normally is. So, you know, they're not doing their part offensively. Obviously, defensively, they stepped it up the last possession of the Buckeyes. But this is what they try to do, is just, you know, pound the football, keep the ball away from the offenses, play good defense, try to be sound on your special teams and all that, and it's been pretty successful with 2 state championships in the past 5 years.
We got a timeout by Pleasant Grove on 3rd and 8. Let's take a quick commercial break and come right back after these messages.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. Yeah! He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Back to the action here. 3rd down and 8 for Pleasant Grove in this scoreless game here deep into the first quarter. So far, Pleasant Grove's run 8 plays, 0 first downs, and 7 runs for 13 yards. All they have to show here for their 3 possessions. Johnson is going to be under center. He's going to drop back, and he's going to roll out to his right. He is getting a lot of pressure, looking for a place to pass.
Wow.
And it is incomplete pass. Great defense there by the Buckeyes. Number 20 hits him in the hands, and number 20, Castillo, from his linebacker position, breaks that up brilliantly. And once again, Pleasant Grove is going to 3 and out. 3 in a row for 3 and out for the offense for Pleasant Grove, and they'll punt it once again to a very restless Ro Fluellen. You made this comment, Joe, that they really know the name Fluellen around these parts.
Yeah, well, and that right there, when they throw, it's basically a scramble drill. I mean, and it looked like it was going to work that time because they managed to just squeak a guy open. It happened to catch a high point ball. But like you said, Hernandez came in, knocked it out of his hands. A really good job defensively.
Here's the punt. No pressure. That's going to go back, and Rowe is going to have a chance to catch this one. He catches it and tries to break through the first wave, saves himself probably 10 yards, but makes the catch and has a couple of yard return. Sure-handed 1st and 10 Buckeyes from the 22. Really just a little rush showing, Joe, after 2 weeks off for this Buckeye offense.
Yeah, of course, with Fluellen making the catch there, it probably prevented it from rolling back, the 10, 15 yards. I personally would like to have seen them fair catch that because there was 2 guys right on him. But
it's against his religion.
Right, exactly. And he's had great success against Pleasant Grove, so I'm sure that's what he's thinking. But the Buckeyes, 3rd time on the field for the offense now, and we'll see what they can do.
A couple of first downs for the Buckeyes tonight already, but just have hit the skids. Here's Caden Tennyson going to throw it straight out, and that is to number 7. Once again, Tate is right back on the field. He's going to pick up 4. That's a nice gain on first down, just taking what the defense gives you.
Well, just the fact he could have lost 4, and I'd be very happy because he's back on the field.
That's right. Derek Tate at full speed is a scary thing, as he is now kind of favoring that hip again. Is going to come off the field and be replaced.
Well, and you can tell he's 16 or 17 years old because if I'd done that, I'd be done for a month.
2nd down and 6 from the 26-yard line. Caden Tennyson alone in the backfield right now. Here comes the motion man. It's going to be a handoff, and that is going to be, who is that?
I can't see him.
That's number 22. Oh, that's Will Henderson. Yep. Finding a way to get the speedster the ball. There's not many folks on the planet at his age that move as fast as he does. That is going to bring up 3rd and a half yard as Will does manage to pick it up. It's not a bad thing, Joe, when you've got the first-team All-State running back coming back in Ashton Haynes, and the guy behind you runs a 10-400.
Well, and not just that, he's a good running back, and he averages 10 yards a carry. So, I mean, he's a threat.
Well, he's a threat anytime he touches it with all that speed. He's in the backfield now. To the right of Caden Tennyson, who's going to take the snap, hand it to Will straight up the middle. And Will is going to pick up the first down. He's going to move the chains, but we've got a flag.
Came in late at the end, so I'm not sure. It doesn't, usually that's not going to be holding. Yeah, usually it indicates like a face mask, but, we'll just have to see what they call. But that's usually what you see when the flag comes in at that point, unless he just couldn't get it out of his pocket.
Yeah. And that is a face mask against Pleasant Grove. That's going to move them back 15 yards all the way close to midfield. And Will Henderson does fight forward for a first down all on his own. But Pleasant Grove adding a little injury to the insult there. And this is going to be 1st and 10 Buckeyes from their own 48-yard line now.
Well, obviously it may not have stopped the drive, but probably would have. So 2 times now in the last 2 series, the Buckeyes have been saved by a face mask penalty by Pleasant Grove.
Here's Caden Tennyson in the shotgun. It's going to be to Rowe, and he's going to back for a pass. It's going to be wide open, and Rowe throws it up, and we've got a penalty flag that is going to be 15 more yards. I think, who is that out there that is, I can't see the number.
Yeah, it's the lining's not the best, but yeah, 13, okay. That was a well-designed play, and we got behind him enough time, but the ball getting there was a little bit late, so it allowed both defensive backs to get back there. But in their desperation, not knowing where the ball was, they went ahead and grabbed him. But they're taught that. They're saying, hey, if you think he's going to catch it, just tackle him, get 15 yards instead of a touchdown. So that's what they did. But once again, helps the Buckeyes because, 30 yards now on penalties in this drive alone.
That's Jeremiah Noble, the sophomore, who did make a great move, kind of a stop and go.
To come back in, right, come back towards the ball.
And made a play on the ball and almost caught that ball. But nevertheless, Joe, as you mentioned, 1st and 10 Buckeyes now driving into Pleasant Grove territory at the 38.
And how many times you see a kid give up, think, oh, that's a bad pass. And all he did was make that extra effort to come back towards it, and it forced them to, into a penalty. And a first down for the Buckeyes now on Pleasant Grove side of the field.
19 seconds left to play in this first quarter. Buckeyes driving. Here comes the blitz. Caden Tennyson is going to get that, and that is going to get that to, my gosh, number 22. And people understand when they lose their breath when they see number 22, Will Henderson, put it in 4th gear and jet up the middle of the field, moves the chains. That has got to be an offsides penalty that is going to be declined.
Oh, if they did call it. I didn't see the flag, but I was almost certain that he was offsides. He came trying to time the snap, and I think he got across just a little bit early. And an amazing, even the fact that he was offsides, Caden still managed somehow to stretch out and give the ball to Henderson just in enough time before he got blasted. And you saw that speed, that initial deal, and I honestly thought he was gone, but they managed to have 2 guys get arms out to hit him and slow him down enough that then they both were able to tackle him and bring him down only after a first down and last play of the quarter.
We will go to a commercial and be right back for the second quarter right after these messages.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Godarzi & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Godarzi & Young.
Back to the action here in Pleasant Grove. Buckeyes driving now, knocking on the door of the red zone. After 2 possessions, a quick interception to start the game. But the Buckeye defense has really been the story tonight in the first quarter, just limiting Pleasant Grove to 4 straight 3-and-outs. And now this Buckeye offense, after 2 weeks off, trying to get into a rhythm. And boy, did we see the scary speed of Will Henderson on that last play. Caden Tennyson in the shotgun now. Turning the field, going the opposite direction. He takes the snap. He's going to fake it straight ahead and keep the ball. He's got it over the left-hand side. He's at the 10. He gets blasted, but not before he picks up a first down.
We'll see how quickly he jumps up. He's a sophomore, as we mentioned earlier. He hasn't been hit like that too many times in 7th, 8th grade, or 9th grade ball. Of course, last year he played varsity, and so he was able to get a little bit of that, but that's a hard hit right there. But you see, when he needs to move, he is a fantastic runner. I would say better than his brother, honestly.
Yeah, 1st and goal now for the Buckeyes, just inside the 10. No, they can still pick up a first down at the 1. We got some first half stats here after this play. Caden Tennyson once again in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Hands it straight ahead to Ashton Haynes. Ashton up the middle. He's still driving into the end zone. He's going to be down at the 1 yard line.
First down you were talking about.
1st and goal, maybe. Joe. 1st and goal from the 1.
Well, as you can see, we were talking in the break that it looks like the Buckeyes have made adjustments to make them pay by running up the middle because of the pressure putting from the corners.
Once again, Ashton straight up the middle, and he drives in. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
No,
they're saying that he's down by You can't get any closer than that.
I can't see that great from where we're at, Todd, but I honestly thought he had fallen across the goal line, but maybe maybe they're saying his knees were down or something. But
yeah, the Buckeyes bring in the beef package now with big number 0, Aaron Bell, into the backfield with number 9, Ashton Haynes. Once again, first team All-State running back. Kind of know what this play is going to be here as the Buckeyes try to push this into the end zone. Snap, once again, Ashton straight up the middle.
No.
And they are saying once again that he is held.
So
no gain there.
Fourth and
third
goal. Oh, is it third?
Because they picked up the first down, so now we've got third and
that's
goal.
Right. They picked up. Well, they still say fourth down on the scoreboard. That's what I was going off of. But
wishful thinking by the home crowd there. It is third down, not fourth down. Big play here as the Buckeyes need literally about 8 inches.
Take a timeout.
And the Buckeyes are going to take a timeout and ensure that they get blood here in the water. 10:22 left here to play in this first half. Buckeyes knocking on the door. We'll be right back after these messages.
Do you enjoy watching your favorite TV programs on your smartphone or tablet? Or maybe you'd rather watch them on your Roku or Amazon Fire TV. Tired of having to change your TV input from your old traditional cable to watch your favorite streaming apps? If so, we have great news for you. Etex is making the move to streaming and has launched a new app. Etex TV allows you to watch over 130 channels in full HD on your streaming or mobile devices. This means you can simply download the Etex TV app, subscribe, and start watching. With all your favorite functions like DVR and Pause Live TV, and new features like Restart TV. To learn more, visit www.etex.net or contact a customer service rep at 903-797-HELP. That's 903-797-4357.
Third and goal now for the Buckeyes from the half-yard line. Once again, beef package up front, and Ashton Haynes, the first team All-State running back, is going to take this one and go around the edge, and he is going to be in for the touchdown standing up. Touchdown Buckeyes. With 10:18 left here to play in this first half, the Buckeyes draw first blood behind the legs of Ashton Haynes.
Well, obviously that was a battle of the lines there, and Pleasant Grove officially got the best of us. I still think he landed in the end zone on that first one. But on the third one, Buckeyes made no doubt, made little adjustments, bopped him on the outside because they were just crashing down. So just, Ashton's very talented.
Very talented.
He scores. He's moving up the career touchdown ladder for the Buckeyes because he has a nose for the end zone.
Extra point left to come. Kick is up, and it is good. And just like that, Buckeyes lead 7-0. But it took a whole quarter for the Buckeyes to score. We'll be back right after these messages and see what this second quarter holds.
Texas Heritage National Bank would like to invite the Buckeye Nation to visit our new full-service bank in Gilmer. We're conveniently located on Highway 271 and Rebud Street with a brand new facility ready to serve our friends and neighbors. We offer competitive rates on all of our deposit products, as well as some great options for business financing to help your business grow from 5 employees to 500 employees. Texas Heritage National Bank would also like to take this time to thank all the teachers, administrators, and school board for investing in the future of our kiddos. We'd also like to wish all the student athletes a wonderful and safe year. Come see us soon.
5 plays on that scoring drive, aided by 30 yards worth of penalties and personal fouls from Pleasant Grove, the big interference call and the face mask call to take the Buckeyes from the 24 into pay dirt, and 4 first downs later, the Buckeyes take a 7-0 lead, and we will be kicking it the opposite direction here. Here's the kick. A high pooch kick is going to be fair caught at the 32-yard line where the Pleasant Grove Hawks will set up shop once again. Joe, looking for their first down.
Yeah, well, the Buckeyes defense obviously has played really well this first half. I want to just real quickly acknowledge Ashton Haynes. That last touchdown put him at number 35 in his career, which moved him ahead of Darrell Bush, running back over the Buckeyes 2018-19, into 5th place solely behind Chris Boyd, Darian Godfrey, Justin Johnson, and Luke Turner.
That's some big Buckeye names right there.
So,
and in good company.
Career rushing touchdowns. I mean, Ashton's as good as they come.
Yeah, and Ashton belongs in that group as he is probably one of the most talented runners that we have ever had in Gilmer, and that is saying something. First down, and here is the handoff, Pleasant Grove, straight up the middle. It just gets stymied by the Buckeyes. They are so well prepared on defense tonight, Joe. You can tell that goes for no gain on first down. Pleasant Grove running the ball, just having a tough sled.
Well, here's the thing. When you and I were in high school, these wing tees were all over the place. And so we practiced for them all the time. You know, hardly anybody threw the ball more than 8 or 10 times a game. Pleasant Grove is a rarity now. And so normally in the seasons we played them, we've only had a week to get ready. Well, the Buckeyes had 2 off weeks. So they've literally had 3 weeks to prepare for this offense, which so far looks like has been a good thing for the Buckeyes.
Johnson under center, going to turn around. He's going to keep this one, drop back to pass. He's just going to throw it up. And Bowman on the coverage, or excuse me, that's number 14 on the coverage.
Connor Dodd.
That's Connor Dodd.
I know him.
Yeah, you share more than just the last name with that young man.
And obviously it wasn't a great pass. And a little bit of Connor's defense there, you know, that's what we're talking about. All you see is them run, and even as a safety, you're keying on that. You're starting to go. So all you got to do is take a step in, and you see him fly by you, and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah, go
and
get
then you
him.
turn around and go. So I mean, you know, it doesn't matter who's out there. It could be the NFC's best safety, and with the way they run the ball, they're going to do that first step in just like he did, and then turn around.
Shotgun now as Johnson fakes a handoff, and they're going to play a screen pass up the middle. And what a great defensive play by Amaro Arona, who got held on that play and still made the tackle. 4th down and 10, and once again, the Buckeye Black Flag has come to play tonight. They 3-and-out these Pleasant Grove Hawks.
One of those Buckeye linebackers that we talked about, he may only be 5'10", 170 pounds.
He is a great football player.
But he is a great football player. I mean, pound for pound, I guarantee you one of the best linebackers Gilmer's had. Daniel Dodd, his coach, would be another one. Daniel was a little bit bigger than him, but not much. But Arono, man, he's a player.
Here's a punt once again, as Fluellen is going to get this one punted over his head and behind him. Still taking that 9-iron bounce going backwards. Wow. And the Buckeyes had one bounce right up to him, and that was number 34 for the Gilmer Buckeyes.
That'll be his last time on the punt team.
That's Mr. Brascom.
So just so you know,
he did make a good play. He was trailing the play and making sure that any fumbles, but that ball just bounced right into his lap.
I had to remember I had a microphone on, so. But as soon as I saw him do that, I just went, oh my gosh! You know, that's a definite no-no if you're on the punt return team for the Buckeyes. Is you don't stand there and let that ball bounce back and hit you. Luckily, he managed to catch it. 1st and
10 Buckeyes from the 28-yard line. They've got 72 yards to go. And boy number 22 is in the backfield now. Will the Tomahawk Henderson can make short work of that. Let's see what they do here. 1st and 10 Buckeyes. Caden takes the snap. He's going to drop back and throw it out to Ro Fluellen on a screen pass. He gets 5 quick yards, just taking what the defense gives him, and that is a nice throw and catch and nice first down play.
Well, this is the Buckeyes offense. That is what the Buckeyes do. That's their running play. That's their bread and butter, get 4 and 5 yards, cloud of dust type of thing. That's what they do.
Effectively. 2nd down and 6 across the 30-yard line. Caden Tennyson once again in the shotgun, offset back to the left as the Tomahawk. Twins out to the right. Here's the snap. Dropping back. Caden Tennyson will throw again. Throws it out this time a little bit much for Ro Fluellen over his head. We're going to bring up 3rd down and 6 and a really important play here in this young game, Joe.
Well, you saw Tennyson. He had some time right then to throw. Just saw a little bit of that sophomore in him. You know, that's a hard throw. That's an opposite field throw. Trying to get it, you know, with some big guys around you. He's only about 5'10" or so, and he just was off by, you know, maybe a foot.
3rd down and 6. Tennyson on the left hash now, offset back to the right's Will Henderson. They're going to bring pressure on this play. Dropping back, here comes the pressure. Caden Tennyson is going to be sacked. And just like we said, Joe, that is just the play of the front line, bringing everybody on a full-on blitz. Going to bring up 4th down and 13, and that play had no chance.
No, it didn't, and, you know, I can tell you I know enough to know that something was wrong with that play, not just that they brought the house, but you could tell that something didn't go right. I just don't know what it was. I can't tell you from, you know, my perspective. I'm not one of the coaches that knew what play we were running, but you could tell there was something off there just by the way Caden acted when he got the snap.
Yeah, and he had black shirts just raining down on him from the time that he touched it as they brought 8 guys through every gap. Bringing on the Buckeye punt team is it's going to be once again a rugby punt out here to the right-hand side. Johnson's going to take it on the fly. Don't know if he touched it or not.
Go ahead.
The Buckeyes
pick it up in case it did, but
yeah, they're going to say that he did not touch that, and that was close. That's going to be 1st and 10 for Pleasant Grove from their own 30. And Joe, the Buckeyes, 7:21 left here in this first half, only 7 points on the board. That is Pleasant Grove type of a game,
yes.
But right now Pleasant Grove literally able to generate no offense.
Well, and normally, Buckeye fans probably be a little bit concerned, by this because, we know the magic number is 30 points. 30 points, we win 95% of our games in the last 23 years. But in this case, with the way the defense is playing and the way Pleasant Grove's offense just operates, I think the Buckeyes feel pretty good about this game, even at 7-0 right now.
Yeah, you would like to not have that turnover and score on the first possession, obviously, but the Buckeyes are going to get the ball to start the second half. But you got to think with 7 minutes left here, if the Buckeyes can 3-and-out them, they're going to be limited here, and it's going to be a handoff straight up the middle, and that's nothing. Braylon Ward just swallows that up for a 2-yard loss. My gracious, this defense is playing fantastic.
Well, and so that Braylon was able to shoot through, and they might have even left him unblocked because of the way they were running. But at 310 pounds, he was still fast and quick enough to get around the running back from behind and bring him down.
He is a man. And I tell you what, that athleticism is something that has really been neutralized in past years. But Pleasant Grove may just be out-athleted tonight here by these Buckeyes. 2nd down and 11 now, not where Pleasant Grove wants to be. Here's motion. Johnson is going to roll out and try to throw. He's going to throw it out wide, and it's going to be broken up nicely. Fantastic defense by number 12. That's the captain out there for the Buckeyes. That is Mr. Easley, as Zach makes a great play out there and brings up 3rd down and 12. Again, not anywhere close to where Pleasant Grove wants to be. Most importantly, Joe stops the clock.
Well, the defense, it's funny because they've been out there a lot. This is their 4th drive, I believe.
But 3-and-out,
right.
3-and-out.
But, a great play there defensively. That was really the best pass of the night so far, by Pleasant Grove. It was actually on time, on the money. He had it basically in his hands, and you see the safety doing exactly what he's taught, coming across and just knocking it out. So you got to feel great about how the Buckeyes defense is playing so far.
And so does Josh Gibson. He feels differently, but he has got the same result. Timeout, Pleasant Grove. 6:37 left in the first half. 7-0 Buckeyes. 3rd down and long coming up.
It's gonna be alright. How can you tell? I feel it in my heart. It's gonna be okay.
Juicy's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
Back to the action here in Texarkana, Texas. Buckeyes lead 7-0 with 6:37 left to play here in this first half, but a big 3rd down and 11.
We might want to mention the fans at home that see the scoreboard. There's not 637.9 minutes left or whatever. They've got the track clock, even though they don't have a track here. I've never quite figured that out. But 6 minutes, 37.9 seconds left.
Yeah, they opted for the accessory on the scoreboard option there when they put this in. So we've got tenths of seconds. But 3rd down and 11 as Johnson's back to pass once again, and he drops back and tries to throw over the middle. Broken up nicely by the Buckeyes. That is number 1. That is Tyson Wilson, the captain back there, breaking that up. No chance. And on comes Ro Fluellen once again to return the 5th punt of the night. Pleasant Grove is yet to pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, it wasn't a great pass, but that was because he was under pressure, and Tyson Wilson was right on him. And he didn't really need to necessarily go to the ground, but usually Tyson, he doesn't know. He thinks he may be down on the ground ready to make a catch, so he's going to try to go all the way and do it, and just another great effort by the Buckeyes defense again.
Here's the punt once again, and it is another punt that's going to hit about the 28-yard line and bounce backwards. He's got that 9-iron shot going.
Well, punting away from him, as you would expect.
1st and 10 Buckeyes from their own 31-yard line. Lots of time left, Joe. You got to think that maybe time for 2, maybe even 3 possessions. And the Buckeyes need to put some more points on the board. Offensively, Joe, you just get the feeling that they're just kind of shaking the rust off of 3 weeks off.
Well, like I said, what was probably good for the coaching staff and maybe the defense in terms of learning this weird offense and how to defend it, those same 3 weeks, could leave the offense a little bit rusty. They haven't been out there in game-type situation in 3 weeks now.
Well, interestingly enough, now you got number 22, Will Henderson, on the field at the same time with Ashton Haynes. Here's Will in the shotgun. He's going to take this, and he is the speedster, and look out as he goes straight ahead for 8-yard gain. And, Joe, he may be the fastest 16-year-old on the planet, but he's a dang good running back.
I'm just really impressed with how good a running back he has. Really good instincts. He does not literally rely on his speed. He really does not. He picks and chooses holes and follows blockers really well, and Ashton Haynes was his blocker on that play.
2nd and 3. This is going to be Will once again straight up the middle, and he is moving the pile down to the 43, first down, moving the chains. Will Henderson just kicking it into gear, and it's just absolutely scary, Joe, if you're a Pleasant Grove fan, because you just know any second he's going to break one as he comes off the field there.
Well, that's what the Buckeyes hope, obviously, is that we'll just break one here and maybe get another score on the board. But as long as we keep doing what they're doing here, everybody will be happy.
Ashton Haynes goes in motion. It's going to be a toss out to Ashton, great receiver. He takes that and spins out a 1 tackle and gains 4 yards out to the 45. And that's nice coverage by Pleasant Grove, but that is just balance and great feet by Ashton.
An unbelievable effort for a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, that's the truth.
That was a great effort for 2 yards. And you see how I know he just got an offer from a smaller school. I'm honestly surprised he's not gotten some looks at some D1 schools. Maybe
I think he will before it's over.
Level.
He is too talented. 2nd down and 8 for the Buckeyes, right at the 45-yard line as they're trying to get into Pleasant Grove territory, trying to draw Pleasant Grove off now.
I think they're trying to draw us. Oh, nice. Wow.
Ashton, unbelievable, turns a whole lot of nothing into a 1-yard gain.
Wow.
That last play may have been the most impressive 2-yard gain. That's the most impressive 1-yard gain.
Yeah.
That was something.
Unfortunately for the Buckeyes, that leaves them with a 3rd and long here. But, man, you talk about unbelievable effort on 2 plays by a young man that didn't create any yards. It won't look like anything in the stat book. But if you're here watching or watching at home, wow.
Yeah, that is something to behold. 3rd and 7 now. The Buckeyes need the 42-yard line. Once again, blitz coming, trying to get Caden outside, and they do. He tucks it and gets out across the 50. That's going to be 4th down and about 2 yards as Caden just tries to get outside that blitz pressure. And I'm not sure if I see any flags or what's coming here, Joe.
Well, I didn't see it either, but the referee. No, okay, they're just saying he stepped out before that. Okay, I thought he got to the marker, but he didn't.
Yeah.
So 4th and about 3 here, it looks like.
Yeah, from midfield as the offense is going to stay on the field. And this is going to be a lot of confidence in your defense. And where I'm not sure that this is a punt, Joe. This may be a punt. This is punting.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like we're backed up for the punt, which I was about to say. I would think we would punt here at midfield in this type of a ball game.
Here's a rugby punt, and there is nobody deep, and this is going to bounce and go all the way down to the 1-yard line.
It went in.
No, it did not.
Yeah, it did.
It didn't, Joe. They're marking this at the 1-foot line.
I don't know. I think they're going to talk about it.
No, they are now giving it to the home crowd and saying it went in the end zone.
Well, unfortunately for the Buckeyes, they shouldn't have. That was the Buckeyes' fault.
Down it at the 2.
They should not have let it roll that far and made any chance it could have rolled into the end zone. So obviously a little bit of a mistake for the Buckeyes, because with the way the defense has been playing, if you put the ball to the 1-yard line, it might be a safety.
Yeah, that's points.
That was a big break for Pleasant Grove.
Coach Metzel is making the argument it's the ball. If the ball never went into the end zone, that
and it is in high school and college.
That's right.
You can lay your whole body in the end zone as long as you stop it from crossing the plane. But if it crosses the plane, then it is a touchback. Obviously, the officials are saying that the ball crossed the plane, or at least the tip of it. We can't tell from here, but that's what they're saying.
Yeah, huge break.
Doesn't matter.
So once again, here's Johnson on the carry, and he runs into nothing. I mean, just nothing. As that black flag stops that for a 3-yard loss. 2nd and 13.
There's a point right there.
Yeah.
So a 3-yard loss at the 25.
That's points.
Is different than a 3-yard loss at the 1-yard line, or at the 20. I mean.
And big Seth Jordan on the stop there, and he is the counterpart of big number 44, Braylon Ward up front.
Why did that not come out to the 25?
It was evidently they spotted it at the 20, and now we got 2nd and 12 now. The Pleasant Grove Hawks from the 18. It's
okay.
It's Texarkana rules.
May have to ask my brother Ben at halftime.
Once again, there's a pitch out to number 15, and he's going to get nothing once again as the Buckeye black flag holds that to 0 gain as the Pleasant Grove is working on single digits in total offense right now, Joe, as they've gone backwards on several of these drives. They only had 15 yards total after the first drive, and it's been nothing but 3 and outs and second in double digits, third in double digits.
They got about half a yard on that play, it looked like.
Right. 3rd and 12, not exactly where Pleasant Grove wants to be, but they're going to give the ball back if the Buckeyes can get their 6th straight 3 and out here to the Buckeye offense, desperately trying to get something going, and it's just been the cat and mouse game. Story of the night is the Buckeye defense and Pleasant Grove's blitzes. That has been the difference in the game. 7-0 Buckeyes lead, under 3 minutes left to play. Here is a keeper to Johnson. He just gets drilled in the backfield and goes backwards once again.
So every single play would have been a safety if the
Everyone.
ball had been down at the 1 or 2.
At the 7.
That's true.
So the Buckeyes do take a timeout here, looks like, to stop the clock.
2:37 to play, because obviously they want to get the ball
That's
back and
right,
try to
with
score
enough
before the
times.
half.
And good field position awaits if the Buckeyes can have a good return here. We'll be right back after this message and finish up the first half.
At First National Bank, together we're better. We're a regional bank, big enough for all of East Texas, that cares and is invested in the people and communities we serve, with the strength and services to meet the needs of every customer, big or small. From business financing for big companies and small mom and pops to our family of personal banking customers. First National Bank of East Texas. Together, we're better. And we think that's kind of a big deal.
Back to the action. Here's the Buckeyes for the 6th straight time. 3 and out Pleasant Grove. 4th down and 17 now.
I lost count. Is it 5 or 6 straight?
That was 6 straight.
Okay.
And just 0 offense for Pleasant Grove in the first half, as we are still waiting. I don't know if it's a local TV timeout or what we're waiting on here, but the referee has stepped in. And
we could have played another commercial.
Yeah, absolutely. We apologize to our sponsors and appreciate.
I'm wondering
you
if
guys
it's
so much.
I think it's the drill team in the back of the end zone getting set. They're trying to
get them
let
cleared.
them get clear. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
sure that's what it
let's
was.
protect our kids there. Ruff Llewellyn standing in Pleasant Grove territory to take this punt. Almost blocked there, and it was blocked. It was tipped.
Because he hit the kicker, but then we saw the referee with the signal of it tipped. That way they didn't throw the flag as to either running in or roughing the kicker. So the Buckeyes will get the ball with 2:27 to play.
And 64 yards away as they'll take over at their own 36-yard line. Joe, 2:27, plenty of time for this Buckeye offense. Just got to execute and really figure out how to pinch down inside and keep these blitzers from Pleasant Grove that are coming from all angles right now. That's really been the difference in the game, is big negative plays for the Buckeyes have just kept them off schedule.
I mean, we keep talking about how good the Buckeyes defense is playing, and honestly, Pleasant Grove's defense is just a step behind. If it hadn't been for about 3 penalties, it would really be close.
Yeah, it would. Empty backfield for Caden Tennyson. In the shotgun, drops back, and he is going to escape out to his left, and he's going to run, and he's going to be sacked and get maybe -2 yards as Caden had no place to go on that one as the offensive line for the Buckeyes being tested. Clock continues to run under 2 minutes. It's now 2nd down and 11, and the Buckeyes really need a big positive play here, Joe.
Obviously, I mean, the Buckeyes are having trouble with the pressure from the edge, and at least so far don't know really what to do about it.
Going to take some halftime adjustments to see if the Buckeyes can put some more points on the board here. Once again, empty formation. This is going to be out to Haynes. He drops that pass. Incomplete, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 12, but Joe, it will stop the clock with 1:49.
Yeah, and obviously Ashton looked away just real quickly, trying to see what was there because he's used to getting hit just about as soon as he catches those little screens. And, you know, somebody was flying towards him, but, you know, with his ability and his agility, who knows what he could have done if he had actually caught it, you know. So not looking good for the Buckeyes. 3rd and 12 here, so obviously they got to come up with a first down just to keep this drive alive and any chance of having more than a 7-point lead at halftime.
They'll get the ball to start the second half. Look for big number 17 here to step up, the TCU commit. Ruff Llewellyn on this big 3rd down. Here comes the pressure. It's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle. Caden's across to the left hand, and he's got a first down out to midfield. Great call on a quarterback draw. Gets out of bounds, moves the chains for the Buckeyes.
Okay, I hope you're right. I'm just not sure if that was a called play. It honestly looked for a second like he wanted to hand off on that option, and then he wasn't going to take it, and he decided to just go ahead and run. And obviously, very talented, great great play call. That's what it was. I'm just not 100% convinced that's what it was.
It was a good decision regardless.
By Caden, for sure.
By Caden. 1st and 10 at midfield now. Buckeyes with new life, converting that 3rd down and 12 with 1:41 left here in the first half. 10 seconds on the play clock. Plenty of time. Clock stop. Caden in the shotgun, drops back to pass. No pressure. He's going to throw this one outside, and it's a strike to number 13. That is the G-man. Jeremiah Noble gets out of bounds at the 31, and now this Buckeye offense is moving, Joe.
Well, they didn't bring the pressure that time, so it makes you wonder why did you not just bring it every time?
Yeah, maybe that defensive
They may be
line
tired.
is gassed.
They may be
That's
tired.
right.
You're right,
As a lot of Pleasant Grove players playing both ways.
That's
and,
true. We always forget to point that out against Pleasant Grove. I mean, Gilmer players play both ways too. People don't often remember that they have more of a play count than the Gilmer players usually
Absolutely.
do. They play more on both
It's
ways.
not every play.
Right.
Caden Tennyson once again in the shotgun, 1st and 10. This is Caden escaping
Wow.
once again
That's
out
all
to the
Caden
right-hand
right there.
side.
Wow.
And he gets probably a 4-yard pickup inside the 30. Clock's going to continue to tick down, and Allen takes a timeout here, a 2nd down and 7. That is Caden anticipating the pressure right there.
Yep.
And we're going to take a quick commercial with the timeout and be right back to conclude this first half after these messages.
Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
I like it. What else do you have?
Here's one. It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
Looks like the same car.
Exactly the same. But this one's $120 less per month.
What's the catch?
No catch if you use Credit Union of Texas. Let me show you.
With the Credit Union of Texas Flex Auto Loan, you get the car of your dreams, lower payments, no hassle. Get started now at cutx.org.
Back to the action here after that timeout. 1 timeout left for the Buckeyes. 2nd down and 7 from the 29-yard line of Pleasant Grove. They're going to bring pressure once again, Joe. Here's the snap. Here comes the pressure. Caden dropping back. He's going to throw it to the deep corner, and he had number 17, Ro Llewellyn. He just couldn't get that pass where he wanted it because he was moving his feet because of the pressure. 3rd down and 7 now, and that felt like the play that the Buckeyes made.
Yeah, I mean, because if, obviously had a little bit of pressure, and sometimes even when you don't have as much pressure, you think there's pressure because of all the other plays, and he obviously just didn't get his feet set and didn't throw. He threw, without his feet being set, so he didn't have the power he needed underneath there for an accurate pass, and that cost him because Rowe had the step and had the angle, and if it had been a little bit closer, it would have been at least inside the 10-yard line, if not a touchdown.
Expected pressure once again. Empty backfield. Caden Tennyson looking to the sideline in the shotgun. He's going to take the snap, drop back, and is once again going to go up the middle.
Wow.
And he's got all kinds of room, and he fakes himself out at the 20. The turf monster bit him, but not before the chains move. Clock stops, chains move.
Wow.
They set the ball quickly.
That was all him, and I'm not sure what happened there at the end.
Caden snaps it and spikes it, and that is going to bring up 2nd down, 54 seconds. And really, Joe, the Buckeyes had time there. I don't know that they needed to spike the ball. They still have, we have no timeouts left at this point.
Once again, this is not a negative. We're just stating a fact. Caden's a sophomore.
Right.
This is his 5th game as a quarterback. So you can practice it all you want, and they do. But, I mean, when you actually get out here and you're running that 1-minute drill basically now, he did a smart thing. Like I said, we might have been able to get one off real quick and go, but I'll take it. That was all him on that last run. That was amazing. And if he hadn't have tripped somehow on his own, I think he might have even scored on that.
Yeah, he had a wide open field, and the turf monster got him. In the secondary now, Will Henderson goes out wide. They're going to throw it across the middle into traffic and intercepted at the goal line.
Just a bad decision.
Just
3
bad
players
decision.
around the Buckeyes receiver, not counting the one that actually ended up intercepting it because he was just standing there and it came right to him. I was about to say, look at the trust that the Buckeyes coaches are showing a sophomore quarterback to stand back there and throw or to run. Because, he's back there in an island by himself these last several plays, and unfortunately for the Buckeyes on that time, it cost them.
Yeah, they guessed right with Pleasant Grove as they literally collapsed on Ro Llewellyn, and I think Caden was going to throw it to him no matter what. He had Will Henderson out to the left standing by himself, and you know how fast he is. Sophomore decision. And but they've got the Buckeye defense has Pleasant Grove at the half-yard line.
If the Buckeye defense can do what they did the last series, all 3 plays, then we might get 2 points in the ball.
49 seconds left, and this half is far from over, folks. as Pleasant Grove, who has had trouble making positive plays, literally has no ground to give here, as they are the offensive line is standing in the backfield. And quarterback sneak is going to go forward for maybe a 3-yard gain out to the 5.
One of their best games of the night.
Yeah, it
3-yard
really
gain
is.
right there.
And I think Josh Gibson, knowing they got to give the ball back, the Buckeyes will probably, they're going to have to snap it one more time, Joe. With 32 seconds left, they'll probably run quarterback sneak again and be happy to be in this game, as they have generated 0 offense in the first half.
Well, defensively, obviously, they've played really well. Buckeyes have hurt themselves on a couple of, bad interceptions. But, this is definitely a defensive slobber fest here.
Fumble, and the Buckeyes have the football with 9 seconds left. Buckeye ball at the 1-yard line.
How is that at the 1?
My goodness.
Both teams are in the end zone. And then the ball's put down at the 1.
No timeouts. That's number 5. Seth Jordan comes away from the ball. We're going to have to score on this play.
Do you kick here?
No, you score.
You don't get 3?
You've got to score. You've got to go score right here.
Okay.
You got to put it on
that's why Alan Metzel makes the big money.
That's right. The football gods just gave you a break here.
In this type of game where it's so close, 3 points might win it. So
it's a quick change. You got to trust your All-State senior. And you got Will Henderson back there too, but we're going to have a timeout by Pleasant Grove.
They're going to talk about the Pleasant Grove.
Yep. And
I say we stay here. Because we don't know what's going to happen.
I would get Will to the edge, and I would stretch out this play. And I think the way that you saw Ashton score on that last 3rd down where he busted out to the outside is you can play action this.
Of course, that's what Pleasant Grove's coaches are telling them right now.
That's right.
But that's just me. I think with the way he's been able to run the ball, I would like to see maybe give Caden an opportunity to score with his ability on this. Not only would it I think, be a good call because he's very talented, but for his, psyche from 2 interceptions in the first half to being able to score right at the end to hopefully give them a 2-touchdown lead, I think that'll help his psyche a lot too. But we'll see what the coaches say.
I don't disagree. I think at the end of the day here, you've got to be able to bounce something towards the outside. You got Will Henderson in the backfield, and it's obviously looks like a passing. It may pass, Joe, just to know that you either score here or you get a second shot at it. And this is going to be a rollout pass, and it's touchdown to number 17, TCU commit, as a touchdown pass from Caden. Isn't going to look good in terms of distance, but it is a touchdown. And we've got a flag.
5 seconds left, depending on what they call this. So if it is a flag that's going to take away a touchdown,
we've got holding against the Buckeyes.
Wow.
My goodness!
So you kick the ball now. You kick the ball now. You kick a field goal here. 5 seconds. You're back at the 10, 11-yard line now.
Yeah.
You kick a field goal here.
Yeah.
Well, there haven't been a lot of flags tonight, so obviously we can't.
5.5 seconds. This is going to be a pass play and something quick because you've got to have.
I love the
left.
aggression, but if I was a coach, I'd kick here. But I'll never question Allen. We got a great record, and this is what they do what they do.
Time for one play. Caden takes the snap, drops back to pass, throws it up to number 11. Fluell makes a great catch!
That's right.
That's exactly right. As my gracious, did Ro Fluellen make a fingertip catch with 1.6
fantastic
seconds
catch,
left.
But seriously, let's think about this. A sophomore quarterback with that throw after he's thrown 2 picks in this first half.
And just gets a holding call on his other touchdown.
And he gets right back in there and says, you know what, I'm going to throw a pinpoint perfect pass right here. No room for error, and I'm going to drop it right in there.
I mean, a great catch. That was fingertip, just all willpower by number 17, Ro Fluellen, to put the Buckeyes up. 2 scores, extra point left to come. Here's the snap, hold, kick is up and good. 14-0 Buckeyes with 1.6 left to play in the first half, and they will get the ball to start the second, Joe. We will take a few commercials and be right back after these messages.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
Back to the action here, Joe. Fantastic throw and catch from Caden Tennyson on the very last second, literally 1.6 seconds left to Roe Fluellen. And Joe, I think Roe needs to come up to Texarkana and buy real estate because
he loves playing the Hawks, that's for sure.
He just needs to own a part of Pleasant Grove.
My heart's beating so fast. Those last 4 plays that we were talking about in the break, where Buckeyes had the ball at the 1, don't score, turn it over. Pleasant Grove gets it, goes out to the 3 or 4 yard line on the first play.
Fumbles.
Driven backwards the last play. What looks like it's a fumble in the end zone. Buckeyes may have a touchdown or a safety. They get the ball, but it's at the 1. They get a touchdown on their play, but it's called back for holding. And then the next play, they get the touchdown for real. So you talk about 4 plays that just went up and down a roller coaster for all fans, Buckeye fans and Hawks fans. And my heart's racing from those last 4 plays.
Well, onside kick ensues in the meantime, and 0.7 seconds now left to play in this first half, and unfortunately, the half isn't over.
Well, you know why we do that? Because our defense obviously shut them down. They haven't got a first down this game, and you don't want to give their skilled kids an opportunity to return a kick because they can take it to the house every time. So you just don't kick it deep. You just do that little squib kind of kick. We weren't even really trying to get it. It'd be nice to get it, but we just wanted the time to run out, them get the clock right there, midfield. We're pretty confident that, after the way the defense has been saying that they're not going to score here with 0.7 seconds left.
3 safeties deep, all the skill positions, 2 corners, including Roe Fluellen back deep, expecting whatever they're expecting for Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, 5 deep with a linebacker back deep.
Yeah, they're gonna throw this one up as Johnson looks deep, and he just chunks it as far as he can, and he throws it to nobody, to
3
a bunch of
Buckeyes.
Buckeyes.
Yeah.
And that's going to end the first half, folks. Buckeyes lead 14-0. They get the ball to start the second half. Fantastic black flag defense, holding Pleasant Grove to maybe 8 yards of total offense and no first downs. And we will be right back. Now, folks, we want to make a quick announcement. We apologize. We are in a press box here, and I'm going to have to go upstairs and hold the mic up to hopefully hear the Buckeye band. We're going to do that right after commercials here with Ericonics. Hopefully we get the right connection in terms of the sound. If we don't, we apologize. But we will give it a try here for the Sweepstakes award-winning Gilmer Buckeye Band. We'll be right back after these messages. Okay, I'm going up.
Juicy's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the award-winning Gilmer High School Stars drill team, directed by Donna Lane and Lauren Murray. Officers from left to right are Melanie Aguilar, Jr., Cynthia Lara, Jr., Chloe Dixon, Jr., Anna E. Guerrero, Sr., and Layla Thompson, Sr. of the week is Jessica Cervantes. The Stars perform a streamer jazz routine to Make You Sweat. Buckeye fans, on your feet as the Stars kick to the Gilmer Buckeye fight song. Gentlemen, Gilmer Independent School District is proud to present one of the most decorated military marching bands in Texas, the pride of Upshur County, the UIL Sweepstakes Award-winning Gilmer Buckeye Band. And now we feature the GHS Majorettes as they perform a dazzling routine to September. Gilmer Band Major X. The Buckeye Band marches in the traditional American military style, and tonight will present their UIL competition drill. Under the field command of drum majors Esmeralda Rambo and Mia Studd, the band steps off to Heroica Fanfare by Larry Ward, Chicago World's Fair March by Legend March by
School Buckeye Band.
It's gonna be alright. How can you tell? Yeah, yeah, I feel it in my heart. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Juicy's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
To another day. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be alright.
Braden Rash, senior, number 26, running back, linebacker.
Mike Colbert, senior, number 6, outside linebacker, running back.
Connor Dunn, senior, number 40, D-line.
Asher Haynes, senior, number 9, running back and outside linebacker.
Dylan Henson, senior, number 27, linebacker.
Braden Seymour, senior, number 77, center.
Chris Guillen, senior, number 19, QB.
Sergio, senior, number 60, O-line, D-line.
Zach Easley, number 12, senior, DB.
Braylon Ward, senior, number 44, D-line, tight end.
Ron Llewellyn, senior, number 17, receiver and safety.
Tyson Wilson, senior, number 1, strong safety.
Kendall Jackson, senior, number 2, linebacker.
Omero Rona, senior, number 3, outside linebacker and fullback.
My name is Cade Bowman. I'm a senior, number 4, receiver and corner.
Seth Jordan, senior, number 5, D-line.
Kevion Brinkley, senior, 24, running back, outside linebacker.
Dustin Morrow, senior, number 32, D-line.
Tay Webb, senior, 33, D-line receiver.
Davey Branscombe, senior, 34, fullback and defensive lineman.
Landon Manning, senior, 72, offensive line.
Javarian Martin, senior, number 54, O-line, D-line.
Elizabeth Posada, senior, number 70, O-line, D-line.
Stone Bates, senior, 46, outside linebacker.
Jose Govea, senior, 84, kicker.
Aaron Bell, junior, number 0, middle linebacker and fullback.
Nathan Arias, junior, number 71, D-line.
Jaden Edmond, junior, number 18, quarterback.
Damari Hackett, junior, number 21, inside receiver and corner.
Harrison Lofton, junior, number 16, quarterback, outside linebacker.
Cameron Brown, junior, number 50, D-line.
Casher Mahoney, junior, number 68, O-line, D-line.
Terry Tate, junior, number 7, wide receiver and safety.
Jerem Pilcher, junior, number 78, center. Elias Castillo, junior, number 20, inside linebacker and fullback. Connor Dodd, junior, number 14, wide receiver and safety.
Jamar Bird, junior, number 25, receiver and corner.
Dervay Smith, junior, 43, running back and outside linebacker.
Justin Jones, junior, number 47, outside receiver and outside linebacker.
Nick Zamaron, junior, 31, fullback and linebacker.
Riley Barnes, junior, number 64, O-line, D-line.
Leno Diaz, junior, number 37, fullback, middle linebacker.
Alex Iseda, junior, number 38, inside linebacker, fullback.
Kobe Webb, junior, number 45, receiver and corner. Luke Holyfield, junior, 30, D-line, fullback.
Andrew Davis, junior, number 83, wide receiver, D-line.
Sean Wallace, junior, 55, offense line, defense line.
Bentley Tracener, junior, number 41, receiver and corner.
Jeremiah Noble, sophomore, number 13, wide receiver, outside linebacker.
Lucas Cano, sophomore, number 75, O-line, D-line.
Brenner Webb, sophomore, 15, receiver, free safety.
Alex Sims, sophomore, number 29, outside linebacker, running back.
Cadence Henderson, sophomore, 11, quarterback.
Coach Kerry Lane, I coach quarterbacks. Coach Clay Causey, inside receivers, inside linebackers, Bruce Junior High.
Coach Brody Lipsy, offensive coordinator.
Coach Markeithel and Tate, running backs.
Coach Blevin Burns, coach of the junior high fullbacks and outside linebackers and running backs.
Max Lowe, coach offense, defensive line at the junior high.
Steve York, assistant athletic director.
Coach Dylan Bowman, cornerbacks coach.
Coach Daniel Dodd, I do inside linebackers.
Coach Parker, coach the outside linebackers.
Coach Rob Dewar, athletic trainer.
Coach Daniel Grigsby, defensive line.
Coach Weston Griffiths, offensive line.
Coach Riley, secondary.
Coach Tommy Edwards, defensive coordinator.
Coach Schaefer, assistant O-line.
Coach Alan Metzel, and I'm the head coach and athletic director.
Coach Randall Kennedy, I coach inside receivers.
Coach Jaden Parrish, I coach fullbacks and tight ends.
Coach Olin Johnson, I coach outside receivers.
Brad Britton, safeties.
Coach Todd Fenton, junior high.
And back to Texarkana, Texas halftime here. Juicy's halftime show. We want to welcome everyone and hope you enjoyed the sweepstakes award-winning Gilmer Buckeye Band along with the Gilmer Buckeye Stars. For your Gilmer Buckeyes stretched this out to a 14-0 lead at halftime after an absolute stellar performance by the Black Flag. 6 straight 3-and-outs. And as the statistics will show, it's just really been the story of the night. In the first half, Pleasant Grove offensively 0 first downs, 13 yards rushing, or 13 carries for 17 total yards, 1 fumble, 1 pass for 1 yard, and 55 total yards of offense. Gilmer 12 first downs, 16 rushes for 56 yards, 18 passes for 79 yards, 2 interceptions, but the big first down to end the first half, and 2 penalties for 15 yards, 4 penalties for 55 yards for Pleasant Grove. Really hurt Pleasant Grove and keep a couple of those early Buckeye drives alive. So we will get the football to start the second half, and that is a big score that the end of the first half provided that last just 2 or 3 minutes. And Joe, we talked about how crazy that was and what happened over that last 2 minutes.
Well, I was just going to demonstrate my math skills. Your reading skills are a little bit off. I know you finished at Harmony, so I'll just chalk it up to that. But you said, they had 17 yards rushing and 1 yard passing. I learned in Gilmer that's 18.
That's 18 total
but you
yards.
read 55 off of
That's
the penalties.
That's correct.
So here's my math skills. They had 18 plays, and they got 18 yards. 1 yard
per play.
So.
That is some Gilmer High School algebra right there, and that is something even a Harmony boy can follow. But Joe, let's talk a little bit about that last series, and we really think about it. Our neck's a little bit sore because we've been looking one direction every time Pleasant Grove's got the ball, because 6 straight 3-and-outs by that Black Flag.
I've seen some great performances by our Black Flag defense. I don't know if I've ever seen one better than this in the first half.
How can it be better?
Yeah, exactly.
This is
18 plays, 18 yards. Yeah,
this is 83 Dangerfield Tigers.
Our defensive coordinator was a Dangerfield Tiger back in those days. So Tommy, every game was like this for him. So Tommy, in the day and time that he coaches in with these crazy offenses that we have, where 400 and 500 yards total offense a game as usual, and you feel pretty good about holding a team to under 300 yards. Tommy has got to be thinking he got in the hot tub time machine sometime today and gone back to Dangerfield mid-1980s when Dangerfield allowed 6 points all season in one of their state championship runs. And I'm sure they probably had several games where the other team had 18 yards at halftime.
Or minus 18.
Less, right.
Yeah, it's been just an absolute clinic by this Black Flag. 3 weeks to prepare really showed up, and it also showed up on the other side with just some rust on the offensive side and a sophomore quarterback. A couple of unfortunate interceptions. Really, I don't know that whose fault the first one was, Joe, because that was just a pattern gone wrong and wind up throwing it to a safety. The second really was kind of Caden making up his mind. I'm gonna throw it to
before the snap. They had 3 guys on him, and like I said, the safety that actually got the interception wasn't one of the 3 guys. So that means 3 guys were on Rowan, and then the safety was just sitting there waiting for it, and it came right to him. But more so than that is. I realize we're up here. We're not on the sidelines. It'd be nice if we had a sideline reporter that could tell us, but I can almost guess what a sideline reporter would tell us about Caden and his demeanor and attitude on the sideline during all that time. Because when he came right back on the field, he literally looked like he just let everything go, forgot the last play. And that's what they tell, a sign of a really good, especially a quarterback, is they have to be able to forget the last play, whether it was good or bad.
Short,
because if it was a great play, you got to do another one. If it was a terrible play, you got to come back out and do it again. You got to come back out and get a snap and overcome what you just did. And so to see him do that and the confidence that the coaching staff had in him that whole last drive even, that didn't end up scoring before they got the ball back on the one and all that. But, that whole last drive, because they left him on an island in the backfield by himself with no running backs around, because even if they started with one, they would run them off. And he had an opportunity to pass on a couple of them and another opportunity to just run, a naked run. And it wasn't just, it was right up the middle sometimes. So the confidence that the coaches placed in him as a sophomore to do that, especially in a game where he had thrown 2 interceptions, just kind of shows you what they think of him. And then, obviously, they were rewarded by Caden performing the way he did. I don't think it was a bad call down here either way if you decided on that very last play once the Buckeyes got the ball back, scored a touchdown from the 1, called back for holding, put them back at 11. I obviously told you that if I was a coach, I would kick a field goal. This is a game that's going to be, this is a close ball game, defensive ball game. So to me, I'm thinking, hey, if I can get 3 points and make it a 10-point lead, I'm happy. Obviously, I'd love to have been 14, but Allen knows his team, knows his quarterback.
Well, and he
went for it.
He also knew 5.5 seconds was 1.6 seconds longer than he needed to run that specific play.
Exactly.
Obviously, Rowe made a fantastic catch, as only Rowe could
But what about that pass, though? I know Rowe did a fantastic catch. But, I'm so impressed with Caden being able to make that throw. They every Saturday and Sunday on ESPN and everything they talk about, they'll do a whole series about, dimes. That's a football lingo these days for quarterback passes that are just perfect.
Right on the money.
Just right on the money. Couldn't do them any better. That would have made the highlight reel for ESPN. That was a dime.
And knowing your receiver, because honestly, Rowe Fluell's the only guy on this field that's going to make that catch. It is an absolute stretch-out fingertip control catch that shows why Rowe Fluell's going to be playing, in Fort Worth at TCU in the next level next year. But your receiver, as we've heard Stump Godfrey, who's worked with Caden from the 7th grade, worked with Brandon from the sophomore year on, was a huge reason that Mr. Texas football was an influence on, both these 2 Tennyson quarterbacks. You see that show up, but as I've heard him say a million times, it's called KYP, know your personnel. And boy, did Caden know exactly who he was throwing it to on that play, and Rowe delivered for him. Touchdown Buckeyes, 14-0. But Joe, the way this defense is playing, I sure would like to see the Buckeyes come out and open up with a scoring drive here and get things back in gear. But given the way the defense is playing tonight, we may have had this locked up at 7 points.
You may be right. That being said, we both know that Pleasant Grove has the athletes. They've got half dozen at least that literally can score on any play. And so that's why you didn't see us kick it to them, for one thing, on that towards the end there. We did the little onside kick, and we just didn't want to kick it deep and let them have a running chance to go down the field. So you can never just say, hey, 14 points, we got this one. But if the Buckeyes can take the ball, if they get, the second half, obviously that's that's saying that, you know, Pleasant Grove doesn't try to onside kick and recover something. But if the Buckeyes do get the opening kick of the second half, if they can go down and score, man, you've got to like your chances that you're going to win the ball game. You know, we talk about all the time that 30 points for the Buckeyes historically is the magic number. I've got it, you know, down here. It's like 222 and 12 or something like that since the year 2000. When the Buckeyes score 30 points, that's their record. That's a 95% winning percentage. And since 1980, so we're talking 43-something seasons, 43, 44, something like that, in games where the Buckeyes have scored at least 30 points, they've only lost 15 times.
Crazy.
So every game I'm going, let's get to 30. That's just my mantra all the time. In a game like this, you know, you're like, wow, I don't know if we're going to get to 30 tonight. But the way the defense is playing, you may not need it. That's your hope at least.
Had them at 6.
But if they can come out and score on the opening drive and make this a 3-score game, you've got to go, okay, what tells you from what's happened so far in the first half that Pleasant Grove can score more than 3 times in the second half?
I'm not sure I've seen that they can pick up 3 first downs.
Well, they haven't picked up a first down yet.
Exactly.
So,
well, it's good to see number 22, Will the Tomahawk Henderson, is going to go back deep, and trust me, folks, he can turn this flip of the scoreboard in literally about 12 seconds even with a football uniform on. He is that explosive, and you got to get the feeling kind of that Gilmer really is not in stride yet. You know, they have not really stretched their legs since they got off the bus. They've shown a little rust in the first half from 3 weeks off. But if they do get a comfortable lead, you almost feel like some ice was broken at the end of that first half.
And obviously we get a chance to see 2 very good coaching staffs
make adjustments.
And, you know, we were just looking, the scoreboard says they have 4.5, almost 5 minutes left, but the official said, hey, let's just get this. It's been so good a game. Let's just get this started. I mean, I was going to sit down and finish my chocolate chip cookie and tell Eric to run some commercials, but guess what? We're fixing to play ball.
We're fixing to kick this off, and the ever-dangerous Ro Fluellen back deep with number 22, Will the Tomahawk Henderson. And, folks, I would give Coach Josh Gibson some good advice. Don't kick it to either one of those guys. It's probably not good practice. And they're going to onside kick this, and number 13, Jeremiah Noble, and I tell you what, listen for that name. That's another young gifted sophomore as he just jumps up and catches that like it's nothing and gives the Buckeyes 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. And really good field position.
Wasn't a great onside kick. They had no chance to get it. You know, I understand why they did it, but boy,
looked like infield
executed
practice
very well.
Yeah.
And for the Buckeyes, obviously, they knew, hey, there's a chance they may onside kick it, so everybody just get ready. I don't know if they necessarily brought their hands team out, didn't really look like it, but they're like, hey, we know something might be coming.
And they got that one easy. 1st and 10 Buckeyes from their own 39. Caden Tennyson trips out to the left-hand side. He's going to go straight out to number 17, Ro Fluellen, who catches that one and turns upfield. And he makes 3 men miss, gains 8 yards on 1st down. And, boy, that's just a nice luxury when you pitch it out to number 17, pick up 8, and almost move the chains on 1st down.
Well, like we said earlier, with the pressure they've been bringing, obviously the Buckeyes are stepping it up. You know, they do it. You know, they're known for a lot of these little quick passes, but they're really getting them off quick right now.
Yeah, Caden's got Ashton off to his left, 2nd and short now from their own 48. Going to hand it to Ash up the middle, and he's got room, and he breaks it, and he is gone all the way to the 30-yard line, folks. What an explosive play by your first team all-state running back. Ashton Haynes rips off, let's say, 32 yards on 1st down, and just like that, the Buckeyes in less than 30 seconds threatening once again the red zone.
Probably the biggest single play of the night. I don't remember one better. And you see, maybe that's an adjustment that they made. They saw something and they did a little bit different blocking scheme because, man, he had a big hole to run through.
And he exploded through it. 1st and 10 Buckeyes alone in the backfield. Caden Tennyson. Ash is in motion. Caden's going to go up the field, and he's got it. Caden is gone to the house, folks. Touchdown, Caden Tennyson showing his speed. And in 4 quick plays, the Buckeye quick strike offense in 64.1 seconds. We've got the clock up there. It didn't take long for the Buckeyes to stretch this out to a 3-score lead.
I mean, you got to think with how quickly that happened and how successful they were on each play. That was definitely the result of adjustments.
Yeah.
And that's why you see coaching staffs are so important. I mean, they saw something up there, they got together, they relay it back down to the coaches at halftime and to the kids. They go through it, and then boom, 3 plays later you score, and right now they've got the a 3-score lead that we talked about, which seems, I'm sure, for Pleasant Grove right now, insurmountable.
Yeah, exactly. After you haven't picked up a first down, is about 14 rows of folks get up to exit the building here on the Pleasant Grove sideline. 21-0 after literally 64.1 seconds. The Buckeyes come out and score in 4 plays, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
It's 61 yards in 3 plays for the Buckeye offense. That's more like it. As Joe points out, it's all about those halftime adjustments. And it only takes 64.1 seconds for these Buckeyes to be back, kicking off once again, now with a 3-score lead, 21-0, and all the wind just went out of this building, Jay.
Well, I just I don't do this broadcasting thing very often, so I had a couple guys, text me at halftime. I told them I'd give them a shout out to Brandon Williams down there around the Austin area, and Mac Dean at home, and Gilmer, I'm sure, out in his shed watching the game. Told both of them I'd give them a shout out, so I've now kept my promise of what I made at halftime.
Some good former Buckeyes and Gilmer boys, and we know and appreciate those guys so much. And thanks for listening tonight. And I think you would be proud of your defenses. Both those guys made some pretty impressive plays on the defensive side of the ball during their day. 1st and 10 Pleasant Grove after the pooch kick from the Buckeyes from their own 40-yard line, yet to pick up a first down, as this black flag has just basically controlled the line of scrimmage. Big number 44, Seth Jordan, up there. They have just done a number on Pleasant Grove. Under center, they're going to hand this off, and it's going to go up the middle, and my gracious, they hit a wall. Picks up 0 on first down as this black flag and behind. I mean, why would you run at number 44?
Well,
I just.
Where are they going to run?
Well, obviously right now, 18 times for 17 yards. They just went below 1 yard per carry on that 0 gain there.
I mean, obviously, you got to imagine that they're going to break through sometime tonight. They're too talented of a team. You would think this is going to happen, but as long as this lasts, I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.
Every second. Pleasant Grove, 2nd and 10 now from their own 40. Once again, in the shotgun now is Johnson. And he drops back, and he's going to option that straight up the middle as a keeper. And as you say, the best run of the night there for Pleasant Grove is he busted up the middle. Amaro run on the tackle, but he breaks first down and applause.
I'll take the blame. I said,
announcer's curse.
Like I said, it wasn't going to stay all night, but I've enjoyed it, the whole time. But you see there, they saw something too. I'm surprised they didn't run that the first play that they had. But their quarterback is a really good athlete, already with an offer from SMU. He can run the ball. So if they do a little bit of that misdirection and a little bit of that fake handoff and let him run, obviously it's the only first down they've had so far tonight. So that play worked at least.
Into Buckeye territory once again. Johnson up the middle. He cuts into nothing, maybe gets 2 yards across the 45 as once again big number 44, Brendan Ward, gets up from the bottom of that pile. It's going to be 2nd down and 7, and we've got stopping of the clock here.
Yeah, somebody's down for the Buckeyes. Can't see who it is.
That's number 40. That's got to be Castillo on that. Let me.
The trainers come out. It looks like he's in a little bit of pain. Lower leg, it looks like. Couldn't really tell what happened to him during the play.
That's kind of done on the play. As it kind of came right at him. But we're going to take a quick break and come right back at 2nd and 7 right after these messages.
3,000-mile warranty.
I like it. What else do you have?
Here's one. It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
Looks like the same car.
Exactly the same. But this one's $120 less per month.
What's the catch?
No catch if you use Credit Union of Texas. Let me show you.
With the Credit Union of Texas Flex Auto Loan, you get the car of your dreams. Lower payments, no hassle. Get started now at cutx.org.
Back the action here. Connor Dunn twisted an ankle there on that play. Comes off the field. 2nd down and 8. Pleasant Grove after their first down of the night into Buckeye territory. 2nd and 7, let's call it, from the 44. Under center, this is going to be a quick pitch out to the right. Number 7 gets literally nothing.
They lost
Great
a yard
play
at
there.
least.
As the Buckeyes swarm back to the 45, 3rd down, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 8. just a great job stringing that out by the Buckeye defense.
I mean, I know we're going to sound like a broken record, or at least I hope we will sound like a broken record throughout the night. I'm just so impressed with the Buckeyes defense. I mean, just
lights out.
Yeah, I mean, because we've never done this to Pleasant Grove.
Yeah, I agree.
They're averaging 350 yards rushing coming into tonight. 5 games, 350 yards a game.
Yeah, less now than 1 yard per carry.
Yeah.
In the shotgun, this is going to be straight up the middle. Once again, this is going to be Johnson, and he busted up the middle, and he's going to go score. Touchdown Johnson. That's the one you called, Joe, on 3rd down and 8, as he just busted up the middle and shows his ability to put them on the scoreboard. That's going to hurt a couple of feelings there for Tommy Edwards and the defensive staff. But, Joe, you called it. You can't hold these athletes down forever.
Yeah, it doesn't take anything away from the defensive effort tonight. It's just, I mean, when you play a team that's this good, I mean, and the athletes they have and the scheme they, employ, to do what the Buckeyes defense did that first half, I mean, that's just amazing, really.
Here's the extra point is up, and it is good.
It goes to show you why the Buckeyes offense is going to get right back out there and try to score again, because you cannot just rely on the fact, we've got this thing in the bag.
Yeah, you're not done. You got a whole half to play. We're going to keep it here right now, folks, as the Buckeyes are going to kind of try to catch their second win, come out and score in 64.1 seconds. And they give up a couple of first down runs as number 2, the quarterback Johnson, for Pleasant Grove. It was really, that whole drive was just all him.
Well, I mean, he ran a little bit in the first half, but it was not, the really designed plays like you've seen right here. And each time that he really got off on these 2 runs with some real yardage, there was a little bit of deception, a little bit of a fake handoff, a little bit of misdirection or something to free him. And obviously, you see, he's already got an offer from SMU, and I'm sure more coming as he's just a junior.
Yeah, and you see why.
I mean, yeah, he's got the speed, he's got the moves. I mean,
that looked a lot like Chapel Hill quarterback.
Well, and it looked a lot like our own 22. So, I mean,
exactly. So 21-7 now the score, 8:26 left to play in the third quarter, and by mandate now, given the scoreboard, Pleasant Grove is going to have to probably pull out all the stops, try to onside kick.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, obviously, there's a ton of time left in this ballgame. So, I mean, nothing that they might do is going to surprise me. Buckeyes have to be ready for all of it. They may onside kick it, or they may decide to kick it away. I wouldn't kick it deep, but if I kicked it deep, I'd kick it away from whoever the Buckeyes put back there.
Yeah, I think an onside kick is coming here. And all the guys over to the left, and here it comes. And yes, it is an onside kick that bounces out of bounds and just too hard, and that is going to give the Buckeyes great field position as Coach gets knocked down over there with the Buckeye. That is number 3, Arona, puts his helmet back on, and he is tough as shoe leather right there. So not too much worried about Arona getting up from the bottom of any pile.
Well, you see on that one, the last time I said they kicked it a little bit too hard. They did the same here, but this time they were trying to kick it to where they were trying to get that bounce. They're trying to get it, and if you don't hit it just perfectly, then it just goes sailing out of bounds,
right. Which is exactly what happened there.
But it gives the Buckeyes great field position. They're at their own 49-yard line. So
first and 10, 51 yards away. Lots of time on the clock, and unfortunately for Pleasant Grove, you got to stop somebody before you can.
They were offsides.
Offsides there. Free play there. It's going to be a pass out to Ro Fluellen, keeps his feet, and he picks up 7. So that penalty is going to be declined. And you may take that penalty.
Well, first and 5, yeah.
Right.
But either way, I'd be fine whatever they decide here. Once again, these quick passes to Rowan Fluellen, they're doing what the offense is designed to do. That is, like I said, that's our bread and butter. Just
it's a sweet
3
play.
or 4 or 5. Right. It's like instead of putting them in the tailback and swinging the ball out to him, you're just putting him out in space already, getting to him real quick and see what he can do. Because even against the athletes that Pleasant Grove has, he's special.
Yeah, Rowe is special. Yeah.
He usually can beat the first guy at least.
Well, he does, but the Buckeyes are going to take 1st and 5 over 2nd and 4 and take the down. Very wise move with 8:19 left playing the third quarter, and this Buckeye offense who took 4 plays to score on the last drive. Referee comes in and stops this. Now backs back out, making sure everything's set with the umpire. And Caden Tennyson under center. Number 9, Ashton Haynes to the left. And here comes Will Henderson. He takes that ball, and he bounces to the outside, but he gets nothing. He, as a matter of fact, loses 2 yards.
Referees have not been blowing, which is good overall, I guess. We haven't had a lot of whistles tonight, and I'd prefer a game where there's not a lot. But I've seen many plays especially on both sides where it was evident that the ball carrier was forward progress was stopped, and boy, they're just letting them go to the ground. It don't matter how long it takes.
Now let's see how long that takes before tempers fly. 1st and 5 turns into 2nd and 8 now for the Buckeyes, back to the 49-yard line.
Another reason why you took the penalty.
Giving it straight ahead.
There you go.
Straight ahead, and that is Big Will driving forward for a first down across the 40. And he just shows not only his drive and power, but man, when he gets that momentum going, he just runs so much harder than what
he does not look like a 10-4 guy when you have him running through the tackles. He looks like a running back. Yeah. I mean, just
he is. I'm glad we got 2 more years left on this contract, quite frankly. 1st and 10 Buckeyes from the Pleasant Grove 40 now with 7 minutes. And the Buckeyes giving Pleasant Grove a dose of the running game with number 22 Will Henderson now in the game. Caden back in the shotgun. Motion man is number 17, Ruff Llewellyn, going to hand it to Will up front, who skips the first man and probably gains 2 yards down to about the 37-yard line. It's going to, let's call it 3-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 as Will is doing that hard work as the running back up front right now and resting Ashton Haynes. And what a luxury, Joe, when you got the first team All-State tailback coming back, and now your upcoming junior to back him up is not just from a qualitative standpoint that good, but just world-class speed.
Yeah, it's amazing. Buckeyes are blessed right now, and it's fun to watch both of them out there.
Trips out to the left-hand side. Will Henderson, the tomahawk, set off to the left. Caden taking the snap, dropping back to pass, and we've got flags everywhere. And the Buckeyes, once again up front, self-inflicted wounds. Going to take 2nd and 8 and kind of turn it into 2nd and 13.
And I think it's only, 2nd or 3rd penalty on the Buckeyes tonight?
Yeah, so they've played very, very clean. But
pretty clean, but yeah, like I said, those are the type of things that hurt you.
Looked like everybody was expecting that snap but the center.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of went on the clap and kind of leaned forward, and the center just didn't snap the ball. And that's going to bring the ball back out to the 42-yard line and make this a challenging pickup for the Buckeye offense. Looking to the sidelines for the play. 6 minutes left to play in this game. 21-7, your Buckeyes lead. Empty backfield. Twins to the right. Trips out to the left-hand side. Here comes pressure, Joe. Here's the snap. Caden trying to time up the snap count. Gets it out to number 22. Will Henderson catches that one, and he's got the corner. And look out. There's that speed as he is just smoking down the sideline.
Stepped out of bounds.
Looked like he went out of bounds. Got a great block downfield, and that just shows you that's just not fair, Joe. That kind of speed you don't see that in the NFL.
Well, you talk about Pleasant Grove's risking it all basically by bringing everybody on that. So if
we've got a flag.
Well, I did see what looked like our center looked like he might have tackled a guy that came up through real quick. Like I said, they were rushing. I just didn't see a flag down there, so I wasn't going to say anything. But if the call's on holding, I'm not that upset about that one. But they brought the house, and looked like at first it bit them, and Will Henderson picked up a big first down, but instead they caught the Buckeye line with the hold, which with the pressure they brought, that's probably what's going to happen on something like that.
Well, the good news is it's 4-down territory if you get down around the 30 and you got 2 more downs. Yeah. It's still 2nd down, but it's 2nd and 21. Now from the 49-yard line with 5:47 as the Buckeyes have gone backwards 3 plays in a row. Once again, let's see if they bring pressure here. Buckeyes just need a positive play. Rolling out to the right, Caden Tennyson's going to throw this one into the ground for Cade Bowman, and that's going to bring up 30.
Yeah, he had a receiver. That's a really hard throw to make on the run like that. It's still a good little distance. And you're trying to keep it down, obviously. You don't want to sell on you and you have another interception. But just a little bit too much pressure, on that play for it to be a perfect pass. So now they're facing 3rd and really long. And it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Sometimes things like that, I just say, hey, you know what? Just drop kick it and let's take them by surprise, But that's not a very aggressive move.
3rd and 20. Caden Tennyson drops back to pass, throws it to Ruff Llewellyn. He's got one man. He gets on the inside, and he picks up maybe 3 yards. But that's going to bring up 4th down and still about 17 left to go. It was a positive play, but just couldn't bust that one as Pleasant Grove goes back to the pressure, brings everybody.
I tell you, the Buckeyes have had some fantastic 1- and 2-yard games tonight.
Yeah, it really was. It highlight film stuff for less than no gain. But number 2, who is the heart and soul of Pleasant Grove's offense right now, he was responsible for that whole last drive. That's Johnson. Stands back at his own 12-yard line, and the Buckeyes are going to punt.
Oh, low snap.
Here's a good punt out
Handled
to the right-hand
well.
side and going to go out of bounds about
Yes,
the 5-yard line.
Wow, how impressive is that?
is.
Who's our punter? Is that Guillen? Is that 19? Who is out there?
That is
Chris Guillen?
That's Chris Guillen, number
Wow.
19. A
So
great punt.
it was a bad snap. It took a hop in front of him, and that can throw you off big time. He handled it like a shortstop, and then just took a few steps and nailed basically a perfect punt down to what, the 6-yard line?
6-yard line. Pinning
Wow.
Pleasant Grove deep with 4:58 left to play in this third quarter.
It's the little things, Todd.
It is absolutely the little things in big games for sure, as the black flag comes back on and tries to find an answer now for Johnson, who on that zone read keeper the last drive had 3 big pickups for the first down that the first down that Pleasant Grove had before he busted that 42-yard touchdown sprint, showed his speed, and the Buckeyes are going to have to get to him before he gets going. 1st and 10 from the 6, 94 yards away, under center now, as they're going to hand off straight ahead and get 0 as big number 44. I tell you what.
He's having a game.
Yeah, Braylon Ward is having the best game that he's had.
Whole defense, obviously, but Braylon's really kind of standing out in an outstanding overall effort.
Yeah, as he goes, we go in terms of defense. This brings up 2nd down and 11 as Pleasant Grove once again goes backwards. That one long run that Johnson just had really does a lot for their average from offense. But if you take away that one play, Joe,
especially because they had so many 3 and out. So now they're,
yeah.
Their average per play doesn't seem so bad. But
under center again, they're going to hand it over the right-hand side in less than nothing as the Buckeyes literally push them back for another 2-yard loss inside the 5 now. This is going to be 3rd down and 14 from the 3. They need the 17-yard line for a first down, Joe. Let's see if they go back to that zone read. That's what I would do, is go back to let Johnson run it up the middle.
Or maybe do what I just said, punt the ball. But of course, if you do that, you have no chance in this game at all with less than 4 minutes in the third quarter. But, I mean, other than 2 plays, literally, this has been absolute, utter domination by the Black Flag defense.
No question about it. It is an encouraging thing to see. See if they can get him off the field here. Under center is Johnson, 2nd down. He is going to fake it to his right, roll to his right. He's going to throw it as far as he can, straight up. Darden on the defense.
That's all right.
We've got a flag, and that is going to give Pleasant Grove an answer to prayer, and that is going to be an interference call. As the defensive
Brendan
back,
Webb, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 15, Brendan Webb. Yeah. That's the young sophomore, as he just doesn't turn his head. He had coverage but didn't turn around, and when you got contact and you don't turn your head, that's an automatic first down.
Once again, I'm going to cut these safeties a little bit of slack here. It's so hard to play that position against a team like this that runs the ball 83%, 87% of the time, and you're constantly, getting baited to go towards the line of scrimmage to, help out. And then all of a sudden you see somebody just streak right by you in a dead sprint. You're like, oh no, so.
Luckily, Johnson is a great athlete, but I wouldn't exactly call him a quarterback, Joe.
Like I said, every play that he tries to throw the ball, for the most part, it's a scramble drill. Yeah. It's just pure luck if they complete it,
pure
or get a penalty like that.
Dropping back the pass once again. They're going to try to do it the same thing again. This time, Darden does not have his head turned.
And I say that, he throws a dime on the next play.
That's to number 40. And we've got a penalty flag that's going to take them back another 15 yards as the former Buckeye, Landon Jackson, draws 15 yards. So he picked up 15, and now he's going to lose it right back.
I tell you, don't want to say too much about a sophomore, but, that's not a very smart play there. You're 2 touchdowns down. You've only had 3 positive plays the entire night, literally 3.
Yeah, now it's
you
2.
catch a pass and then get up and showboat and throw it down, and now you penalized your team 15 yards. And, like I said, before 2 big plays, they were averaging 1 yard a play. So
that is going to be 1st and 10, but 15 yards backwards from that pickup is going to put them back to the 30. And that's better than the 6 where they started this drive after that penalty, and they do have another first down out of that. So an excellent catch by Jackson, an even better throw, to your point, Joe, by Johnson, who just puts it on a just perfect spot.
People are going to be shocked. I've actually thought this is a pretty well officiated game so far. Yes, I said it. Mark the date and time right now.
Johnson back is going to fake a handoff. He's going to try to throw it. He throws it to nobody, and that's going to be picked. Yep. And it's picked by number 3, Arona, and he takes it to the house.
34
folks.
yards.
Touchdown, 34 yards for Amara Arona, the linebacker. Absolutely makes the Pleasant Grove Hawks pay for their inability to throw the football, and the black flag puts a mark on the scoreboard themselves to stretch this out to 27-7. with the extra point left to
Well,
come.
like I said, when you can't throw the ball, that's the thing that differentiates the Buckeyes against so many teams. And, you know, former Gilmer coach Jeff Traylor, you know, taught this all the time. And he said, you know, you put in that effort to teach how to pass the ball. And if you can pass the ball, that's the difference in so many games against some teams, because it just makes you so much better than most teams that can't pass the ball.
Yeah, if you're not one-dimensional, you're multi-threat. Extra point up and
well,
good.
there's definitely some movement on both sides of the line there. Did they not? I think the referees just said, you know what, let's get this game going, because I saw 3 people for the Buckeyes can't stand up and 2 or 3 of the Hawks stand up, and I thought for sure they were going to just drop a little flag there and say there was motion.
Go to commercials now. 28-7 Buckeyes lead.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
Back to the action is a pick 6 by Mara Arona puts the Buckeyes up 28-7. Once again, a 3-score lead as the Buckeyes kick off once again with 3:13 left to play in this third quarter. Scout team players for the week, Joe. Defensively, it's Amari Morton and James Kimbrough. Offensively, it's Taryn Bohan and Klein Kinsey. Appreciate those guys so much. Want to send a shout out. Also, shout out to specially our General Metzel, General Neil Metzel, a classmate of mine out at Harmony, and he's in Japan right now with his family, and so he's leading a different army than his big brother is, but both of them doing a great job. Here's the kick. It's going to be returned and fumbled down at the 38-yard line, and I think Pleasant Grove got back on this one.
Well, I think they probably identified him sometime in film study and said, this guy doesn't have the greatest hand, so let's just kick it to him. And you saw why there, and Gilmer almost got the ball again.
It was close as he tried to run before he caught it, and the black flag defense coming back onto the scene. Is it, you say, Joe, outside that one play,
well,
it's really been utter domination.
I know for the defensive side, just their mentality, that was a big play for them, because now they're even on the score, 7-7. Right. They gave up 7, and they scored their own 7. That's the way the defensive coaches look at it. They don't really look at the offense doing. They're like, what did we give up? Yeah.
Well, they're back to 0, and as Eric Conitz pointed out, our statistician in disguise right now, the turnover battle is now even, and we got points out of that. So it is pendulum swing right back to the Buckeye favor right now. Let's see if the black flag can stand up. Johnson under center. Going to turn around and hand it off straight ahead, and Seth Jordan just ate that up for a half-yard gain.
I mean, and that was because Seth Jordan decided to lean to his left instead of leaning to his right, because it would have been a no gain if he went the other direction.
Yeah, and the running back number 7 is hurt on that play and getting up slow. He's going to – looks like he's going to come out of the game.
I think if I was a Pleasant Grove running back right now, I'd probably be hurt after the end of every play too.
Yeah, it is more than physical hurt as you look up at the scoreboard, and the consolation prize – if they go on here to lose this game and wind up second in district, is that you get the Carthage Bulldogs 3 rounds deep in the playoffs. Makes for an early Thanksgiving. Johnson keeping it all around to his right, and boy, did Braylon Ward scrape down the line.
All right, wait a minute. You just said Braylon Ward just tackled probably a 4'4" guy, I would imagine.
Yeah, scraping down the line. And
he's
ran
310 pounds.
I know, that's impressive. 3rd down and 5, as that was a hole that just kind of disappeared because Bray just ran that down. I mean, that is an unbelievably athletic play, as you say, Joe, by a 300-pounder. As we've got 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter, and I tell you what, for Pleasant Grove to have any chance to stay in this game, Joe, they got to convert.
And these 300-pounders today don't really look like 300-pounders back when we were playing.
No.
These 300-pounders are athletes,
Here's Johnson once again. He's going to hand it off to the left-hand side. Wow. And the speed, and you see it once again as they break it. And let's see.
Well, Will got him.
Yeah.
If we had 5 more yards, Will definitely would have got him. But
just run him down. But touchdown for Pleasant Grove as we go to 28-13 now as we've got a flag down, Joe, and that is going to come back.
Yeah, that's what really upset the people at Pleasant Grove, and obviously I didn't see anything. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. Like I said, I mean, I can now account for the fact that I said that before this play, that I said that the game had been pretty well officiated.
Yeah, and bring that one back, and we now see why that hole was as big as it was, is this is going to be a 3rd down and 15 now instead of a touchdown.
Well, I mean, let's face it. I mean, there have been 2 plays the whole night that gained much yardage at all. So it's not that, oh my goodness, you know, this is a terrible call. There's no way, because it's more than likely it was a holding penalty because they've not done this at all tonight. So
somebody got tackled, and I think it was number 5, Seth Jordan, that holding call.
So now if he
on.
breaks it from here, we know Will Henderson will definitely catch him before he gets there because he's got that extra 10 yards.
There's your extra 10. I tell you what, number 1's not slow as he showed on that play. But
in fact, I heard some of the people in the press box go, "Oh, watching 22 walk him
down from behind." Get ready for the long pass play. Here's Johnson, but he's
holding
getting pressure.
Right there. They didn't call. Yeah, they didn't call that one.
And he gets brought down about the 40 after about let's call it a 7-yard gain, but still that's going to be 4th down and 8.
I don't know which one of our linebackers stunted on that, but he had a wide open shot,
Castillo,
and he got
20,
held all the way through. But they didn't
he
call
got
that
tackled.
One.
Castillo, number 20. And this is going to be 4th and long. Let's see what Coach Gibson. Maybe he tries to go for it here, Joe. Maybe.
Well, I mean, you've got basically a minute left in this
3rd
quarter, and then the 4th quarter you're down 3 scores. So you know,
now or never.
We say that, but now they're slow playing it in the huddle, which kind of goes against what you're thinking, being 4th down and 9.
Yeah, they're going to go for it on 4th and 9. Johnson in the shotgun, and he's going to get pressure up the middle. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be broken up.
What great defense.
That is superior defense.
High and low hit on a 6'5", 240-pound sophomore who had offers from Baylor and Arkansas when he was in 8th grade.
Yeah, and that got 0 as the Buckeyes are going to have it 1st and 10 now from the Pleasant Grove 40.
Yeah.
And Joe, don't look now, but 28 points later with 51 ticks still left in the 3rd quarter, we may get to 30 sooner than we all thought here.
Like I said, I love the number 30 for the Buckeyes just because of what it means. So, you know, it looks like they wouldn't need 30 tonight, but just to get to that number against this team, honestly, especially after having, you know, we thought it was only be 7 points at halftime until they managed to score on the last play. You know, it says something about what the adjustments the coaches made in the second half.
Absolutely. Here comes the tomahawk in and throwing it deep to number 4, Bowman. And there is going to be no flag.
They're going to let it go. I mean, I probably would let it go too. They did have contact with Bowman, you know, 40 yards downfield that they probably could have called, but it didn't look like it was catchable, so I'm okay with letting it go. But, you know, that's okay. Take those shots every now and then. You know, make them stay honest, because that even stuff like that keeps that rush from just, you know, constantly pounding you.
And I mean, that's been coming all night. Caden doing a much better job here in the second half of handling that and looking to use his feet. And Coach Metzel also looking to anticipate and rolling him out one direction. Of course, when you see number 22 coming in motion, everybody back there has got to take an adjustment. Once again, here's 17 in motion, and Caden's going to run it up the middle. He's got a big hole. And he's got maybe, let's call it 4 yards on first down or second down. He's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 now. Wow. Probably 4 down territory at the 36-yard line of Pleasant Grove. And that can be the last play of the quarter if Alan Metzel chooses to. Let's see if he runs a play here.
Yeah,
play clock and the game clock are right on together.
But it looks like they're going to let it run out. Which, you know, like I said, this is their version of, you know, clock management, obviously. You still got to think about it because, like I said, we've already seen twice they scored just like that.
They can go in a heartbeat. That's right.
You have to keep coaching this game. You have to keep, you know, coaching from that standpoint that this is not over, because it is not over.
Well, the 3rd quarter is over now, officially 28-7. Your Buckeyes lead. We'll be right back with the 4th quarter after these messages.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Back to the start of the fourth quarter here. 3rd down and 6. Big play here for the Buckeyes. Maybe 4-down territory from the 36-yard line of Pleasant Grove. 28-7 is your lead for these Buckeyes, but looking to move the chains for sure. They're going to hand it to Ashton Haynes, and Ashton's going to twist and turn down to the 39 and bring up 4th and 1, and undoubtedly Alamets will go for it here.
Boy, I tell you, he's fun to watch, even on 3-yard, 4-yard gains. Such a tough running back, and I mean, he takes some hits that you just think, oh my gosh, and he just pops right up like nothing happened. You know, he is a really good, solid running back.
You know what Ashton is? He is a Performance V8 version of a GMC. He is commercial grade.
Yeah, he really is.
He is just and I tell you what, folks, if
he flies under the radar, really. You don't realize how good he is.
Yeah, Colby Cartel, let me tell you something. If you're watching this game, you better get up here and sign that boy because he's as good as we've had.
I think he reminds me of Gus a lot.
He does.
Gus Johnson. Yeah.
But on 4th down, they crash once again and shut down Ashton before he can even get going, and the Buckeyes turn it over on downs.
Once again, you know, the Buckeyes made a very conservative play call on this thing. They're deep in territory. This is, like I said, obviously they don't want to turn it over on downs, but it's not much worse than ending your series with a punt that goes out of the 35.
Yeah, and
and
you're going to turn it back to the black flag, which is
great job for Pleasant Grove's defense. But I mean, the Buckeyes, they was playing it very safe here. We're not going to do anything crazy. Let's see if we can pick up the 1st down. If we don't, oh well, they get the ball at the 35.
Yeah, well, they crash. I mean, they're linebackers.
I think our defense is playing okay, so maybe we could trust our defense here.
Yeah, a little bit. Under center, 1st and 10. Johnson going to turn around and hand it off up the middle to number 7.
Wow.
And he's going to get about 6 yards. The best 1st down run really that they've had all night.
3rd or 4th best gain of the night, yeah.
Out to their own 41-yard line.
Pick up what, 8? 7?
Let's call that 7. Out to short of the 42-yard line. Into the fourth quarter now as a minute is gone already. 28-7, the Buckeyes with a 3-score lead. And here's a shotgun now for Johnson. He's going to hand it off to number 7 once again, and he is going to get close to a 1st down. Seth Jordan winds up tackling him, and they're going to give it to him 1st and 10, but we've got a cramp down.
Yeah, it looks like a cramp. Yeah, he's pulling his toes back.
Cramping up. We're going to take a quick timeout and come back right after these messages.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Godarzi & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Godarzi & Young.
Do you enjoy watching your favorite TV programs on your smartphone or tablet? Or maybe you'd rather watch them on your Roku or Amazon Fire TV. Tired of having to change your TV input from your old traditional cable to watch your favorite streaming apps? If so, we have great news for you. Etex is making the move to streaming and has launched a new app. Etex TV allows you to watch over 130 channels in full HD on your streaming or mobile devices. This means you can simply download the Etex TV app, subscribe, and start watching. With all your favorite functions like DVR and pause live TV, and new features like
back to the action here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Johnson under center. He's going to roll out, and he's going to be looking at pressure. He tries to duck it, but he gets loose. And he is at the 32. Safety made the tackle. That is Roflu-Ellen making the tackle on that one. As that's just a busted play.
And boy, almost had him for a loss a couple times in the backfield. It shows you how talented he is, because he easily could have been tackled for a loss on that play.
Yeah, and you've got to tackle him. That's what that shows for sure. Under 10 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter. 28-7. Pleasant Grove now driving into Buckeye territory at the 32. Well, that black flag that's dominated all night long is really going to have to bow their neck here.
I think Pleasant Grove now has as many 1st downs as Gilmer has touchdowns. So I mean, that's pretty close.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Johnson in the shotgun, dropping back, and he is going to turn loose once again. Throws it up for grabs. Incomplete. Big Aaron Bell tracking him down.
If Aaron Bell's coming after me, I'd throw it away and run too. So
yeah, it stops the clock, brings up 2nd down and 10. And now for Coach Gibson, it's just kind of go for broke time.
6'1", 240 pounds, probably 4'5", 4'6" speed. Aaron Bell,
specimen.
Yeah, I'd just throw it away and run just like he did.
Live to fight another day, but that day is ticking down very quickly. 9:35 left. 28-7 once again. Your Buckeyes lead, trying to hold on here and continue what's been a dominant defensive performance. But number 2, Johnson for Pleasant Grove, kind of turning this into a one-man show. He's going to go up the middle once again on a quarterback keeper, and almost everything's going to be a keeper, and he's wearing number 44. Brandon
referee
Moore.
Paid for that play right there.
Yeah, he did.
One of the back referees. Hopefully he's all right. Got kind of caught up in that. Looks like he's fine. Another first down by Pleasant Grove, which, like I said, they haven't had many tonight. This is really one of their best sustained drives they've had the whole night.
Yeah, and right now it's a simple equation. Tackle number 2.
Yeah.
He's going to keep it every time. He's going to try to use his athletic ability as he's shown, which is quite adequate. He's under center now.
Makes you wonder why they didn't run him more the first half.
Yeah, they're going to hand off straight up the middle to number 7.
Oh, wow.
And he makes a cut, and he gets loose, and he is headed for the end zone. Touchdown, Pleasant Grove.
You see why he has 700 yards already coming into the night.
Yeah, he has been a non-factor tonight up until then. But they've cut this to a 2-score lead with 9 minutes, and the Buckeyes' work at 28 points is obviously not done.
This is what happens when you play a really good team. As much as you feel like you've dominated the game, you look up, and with 9 minutes left, it's still a 2-score game.
Yeah.
That's when you know that you're in a battle with a good team, because you cannot let up.
Yeah, they haven't quit yet, for sure.
And I'm not saying our defense has let up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you can't let up because they're that good. It's just like, how many times we've seen the Buckeyes come back from 3-score deficits and things like that.
In the fourth
so
quarter.
when you do this, and our Buckeyes know that. Our coaches are over there telling them every time they come over, great job, we got to do it again,
Extra points up and good to make it 28-14, 9 minutes and 2 seconds left. We'll be right back after these messages.
(797) That's 903-797-4357.
Texas Heritage National Bank would like to invite the Buckeye Nation to visit our new full-service bank in Gilmer. We're conveniently located on Highway 271 and Rebud Street with a brand new facility ready to serve our friends and neighbors. We offer competitive rates on all of our deposit products, as well as some great options for business financing to help your business grow from 5 employees to 500 employees. Texas Heritage National Bank would also like to take this time to thank all the teachers, administrators, and schools.
Wow.
Here's the kick, onside kick, absolutely a bullet.
Knuckleball right to him.
Yes, straight to number 12, Tyson Wilson, who makes that catch. On that last drive, Joe, 4 first downs for Pleasant Grove, 11 rushes for 84 yards. They were 0 for 3 in the passing game, but they had penalties that just really kind of killed their scoring chances, but they've managed to keep this a game. The Buckeyes really needing to go score right here, but Pleasant Grove gives them a short field with 9 minutes left. 28-14 is the lead for the Buckeyes, 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line.
And short field hasn't hurt them much the last 2 drives, so we'll see what happens here.
Here's a quick pass out to Bowman. He maybe picks up 2, and of course Bowman not nearly as explosive as Roe Llewellyn when you throw it out there. First man comes up and makes the tackle, and that's a Division I corner out there, number 6.
Well, they're doing a good job on those screen passes. They seem to have them covered well. The only time they've gotten any yards is because Roe's efforts on his own basically.
2nd down and 8 into Pleasant Grove territory. Ashton Haynes once again offset to the left. They're still bringing pressure. Here's number 20 Castillo in the slow motion. Sets up on the left-hand side. Caden Tennyson takes the snap, hands it to number 9, Ashton Haynes. He bounces it to the right, and he picks up 3. That's going to make it 3rd down and 4 from the 45. And the Buckeyes in a big 3rd down here now, Joe, with 8:15 left to play in this 4th quarter, a 2-score lead. They need to move
this is a really big play right here. You see the Buckeyes, back up the line really quick, like they normally do anyway, but they really need to pick this up here.
4 yards to go. They need the 41-yard line of Pleasant Grove. They're going to bring everybody. They're going to hand it to Ashton, and Ashton gets the corner, and he's got a first down for sure. That is just the legs vision of Ashton Haynes, who runs outside the blitz, picks up a first down. That's Big Cano that is getting up.
You know, definitely Ashton on that, but let's give the line some credit on that. They sealed that off, allowed him to get around there, and he did the rest. And that was a big, big first down for the Buckeyes.
Absolutely.
Crazy to think about that you need a big first down like that this late in the game of one you feel like you've dominated for the most part.
Under 8 minutes left to play. 1st and 10 Buckeyes from the 36-yard line. Caden in the backfield by himself. Here comes Ashton, and they're going to keep that. Caden takes it around the right side, and he picks up probably 6 yards, jumps over a man. Just for show, nobody was going to hit him out of bounds, but he just jumped over him anyway, down to the 30. 2nd down, and is going to be about 4 yards. That is a nice gain where the quarterback keeper faked that to Ashton, and it just sucks in that defensive end just long enough, Joe, for Caden to get the corner.
Well, and you can tell how much respect the Buckeye coaching staff has for Pleasant Grove, because they've not run Caden much on purpose this year, but they knew in this game they would need to, even with the 2 great all-state backs that they have, and they've needed them tonight.
Absolutely. 2nd down, and let's call it 4. Caden going to take this snap, drop back to pass, and he's got number 17, but that ball gets tipped.
Yeah, almost intercepted, but yeah, he threw it right into the hands. I think it was 44. That Shaw that's going to UTSA play for Jeff.
Yeah, that is the difference between a 5'10" quarterback
Victor Shaw
and a 6'5" UTSA bound future Roadrunner. Gets his hands up. Obviously 4-down territory here at the 30-yard line. 3rd down and 3 is all they need. And
he had a receiver open too.
Yeah, he did. Rowe ran a great route, and he was wide open, sitting down at the 20. Would have been a first down. Once again, here comes pressure. Caden dropping back to throw. Same exact play. And Rowe Fluellen spins his way out and scores. Touchdown, Rowe Fluellen. My gracious, what a move by the TCU bound number 17, Rowe Fluellen. And I'm telling you, he just owns Pleasant Grove. And he spins out of 2 tackles, and that is some highlight film stuff. His balance and vision, Joe, are just next level.
Yeah, he is sneaky good, and I've been saying this to myself for like 3 years. I mean, I give him all the credit in the world. D1, commit. He'll be a great fit for TCU, but he just always is. To me, he's still under the radar.
Yeah,
it's like he's fast, but he's not like blazing fast. He's big, but not really big. I mean, he doesn't necessarily score as much as some people do with his number of catches and yards, but I mean, he's a great football player, and you see it on plays like that all the time. I mean, how does he stay up and how does he stay balanced with those guys hitting him? He's got great core strength, you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the ability to basically use your aggressiveness against you because he anticipates.
He sees the field better than most players I've seen.
Yeah, his vision is incredible. Extra points up and good. Now those Buckeyes have that 30 points. Where they got a 95% winning percentage for the last.
So I feel pretty good now.
Yeah, 4 decades or so.
I know we have 7.5 minutes against a really good team ranked 3rd in the state. But like I said, when we get 30 points, we win 95% of the time. So
35-14 is.
I'm breathing a little better.
And through 3.5 quarters, when you only score 14 points and you need 21 just to get back in it, you feel pretty good. As the Buckeye defense has played so great tonight, but still unfinished business. With 7:36 left, I'm not going to say, Joe, that the game has been in doubt for a while now, but it's sure going to still have time to be interesting.
Well, and get back to Rowe Fluellen. He owns every receiving record in Gilmer, period. Every single one. And he still has, hopefully, 10 games left.
Yeah, but let me tell you, there have been some good ones through here.
Oh, absolutely.
When you're talking about Matt Johnson receivers. And Curtis Brown, and I mean, it's scary. As the Buckeyes are going to kick this one deep, and it gets fumbled back into the end zone. And here come the Buckeyes, and Will Henderson makes the tackle at the 10. And number 15, Darden.
So there's a 10-4 guy that people will say, hey, you've got Olympic potential. Once you just, get ready for track. And he is down there blowing people up on defense on a kickoff and tackling a back, He's a good football player.
Well, I had a conversation with an unnamed Division I coach who happens to be a buddy that may coach in the Eastern Division of the SEC the other day, and he asked me, really 10-4? And I said, yeah, really 10-4, turn on the film.
Yeah.
And what his comment was an hour later was simple. He said, there are track guys that play football, but that's a football player that runs track.
100%.
And that is an accurate comment.
100%.
Thank you, Coach Hype. And good luck tomorrow against LSU. We'll be pulling for the Vols. But this black flag, thanks to Will Henderson, has them backed up. Now, down at the, let's call it 12-yard line with 7:28 left to play in this game. And they're just going to have to get Johnson loose on this. That's their only hope right now, Joe, is just to keep trying to string this out.
What a good job by the coaches to keep them off, just kicking it deep. They had no idea that they're going to keep it deep. He was shocked that the ball came to him. It's just keeping them off balance.
And I think shocked that our kicker can kick it that far. He kicked it down to the 5-yard line, Joe, which is pretty incredible.
Well, he can do that. We know that. He can do it on those 3 or 4 steps, which is incredible. But he has that ability, and when they do it like that, then the other team is surprised when it happens.
Johnson under center is going to hand off around the right side to number 7, and he is going to be stopped after about a 3-yard gain out to the 20. That Buckeye drive was 5 plays for 51 yards, 2 passes and 3 runs, and capped off there by the Buckeye touchdown, the incredible catch and run by number 17, Ro Fluellen, showing why he's going to be a good one for Malcolm Kelly and the TCU Horned Frogs, who's got a big game tomorrow, Joe, by the way, against the undefeated Kansas Jayhawks. If I would have told you at the beginning of the year, undefeated Kansas is playing undefeated TCU for maybe a top 10 spot, what would you have told me?
Well, and if you started it out by saying that same matchup with TCU coming off a 31-point shellacking of Oklahoma,
really shocking.
Been, yeah.
Back to passes, Johnson, he's got nowhere to go except he makes the pass. And it's going to get out close to a first down, just far enough to move the chains. That's a nice pitch and catch.
Yeah, it was a nice pass there, a little sidearm action right there. But 2 Buckeye defensive backs right there immediately to stop that, and he picked up a first down. But
keep the clock running, keep them in front of you at this point. And what you don't want to do is be seeing the numbers on their back.
Flying by you.
Yeah,
and now they've got to throw.
They got to throw the ball. Yeah. Well. He's prone to throw an interception too, and there's some guys lurking back there in the secondary. Once again, Johnson's going to keep that one. But,
he fumbled it.
Did he fumble? That was a good tackle there by number 5, Seth Jordan.
He may not have. I saw 3 Buckeye hats go right down to the ground like to go after a ball. So
yeah, that's a Rona on the tackle. Surprise, surprise. He is a tackling machine, and he gained literally 6 inches on that play. That's going to be second down and 9.5 from the 25-yard line. And Joe, we're under 6 minutes here. It's come time to just pull out all the stops. If you're Pleasant Grove down 21 points, this one's probably out of hand.
Yeah, I think they know it's out of hand, but obviously they're not going to give up, just like the Buckeyes. They're going to run their offense, do what they can, and try to score.
Dropping back deep, he's going to throw it as far as he can, but number 14, almost, my goodness.
Connor Dodd. I'm going to get on him. That's my nephew right there.
I'm telling you, he had that one picked.
We always make fun of defensive backs by saying that's why they're a defensive back because they can't play with a receiver.
Well, I can tell you
he's a good receiver, actually, so I might have to get on to him about that one.
I can tell you this. At that deep, that would have been the best punt that Pleasant Grove had all night.
True.
So I'm kind of glad that he dropped it. He probably saved us 20 yards of field position.
It would have been a good catch. It was over the shoulder, stretched out a little bit. But, he's my nephew, so I got to give him a hard time anyway. So
3rd and 9.5. We'll see what they do here. Johnson under center, maybe going to try to drop back, play action, and pass. And he gets sacked.
Good call by the Buckeye defensive coaches. They know what they're going to do, so just bring the house and let's get a sack out of it.
That's exactly what happens. And Pleasant Grove now going to be forced to punt this football. There is just no choice, as you cannot give the Buckeyes the ball once again at their own 15. And back deep is the man of the hour after that touchdown run and catch.
He's been itching for a punt return tonight. You've seen it every time, but they've got a good punter. So, I wouldn't punt it to him, especially at midfield. I'd punt it out of the bounds somewhere on one of the sidelines.
Punt it somewhere besides right to the P and the G in the middle of the field for sure. Here's the kick. We've got a flag.
Yeah, so it's going to be it's offense.
And he was going to kick it to him.
Yeah. Well, if it was me punting, I'd have no idea where it was going, so it might have gone to him anyway. He seems to be a much better punter than that, so it does surprise me. Although I think he knew the ball was dead. He was already in his motion, so he wanted to kick it. But yeah, surely he's not going to kick it to him at midfield.
Well,
right now he's at the 40.
And he's at the
Pleasant Grove
40.
For my
exactly.
goodness.
So it's going to be excellent field position. 4:23 left as the Buckeyes may just run the ball and put another one on the board. As once again, they are going to punt it, and Rowe is going to get away from it as that's going to hit and bounce and bounce and bounce about the 49-yard line. And the Buckeyes will take over 1st and 10 there from their own 48.
And you're going to see, unless they just stack stack it inside and try to stop it, which they might, and we'll go ahead and throw the ball because we want to just keep them off the field. But I would think you'd see a lot of 9 and 22 here, and obviously we would like to score, but that's not going to be the objective necessarily.
But I tell you what, Joe,
but
22 comes on the field, and brother, you can blink, and he will be showing you the back of his shoulder pads, which I cannot quote what they say.
Yeah, because you can't tell a guy runs 10-4, hey, don't run fast on this one.
Yeah. 1st and 10 Buckeyes. Caden Tennyson in the backfield. He's going to give it to number 2, Will Henderson. And look out, Joe, he is on a dead run, and he takes it out for a first down as fast as you can blink and move the chains for the Buckeyes.
Like I said, steady diet of 9 and 22, whoever is out there. And right now it looks like it's 22's turn.
I'll take either one.
Yeah, oh gosh, yes.
I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches. It really isn't. Yeah. Joe, you can look all the way down to the 10th grade level. There's 5 unbelievably talented backs that we have. But
as a matter of fact, last night in sub-varsity action, I believe our 7th grade, 8th grade, and JV all but won against Pleasant Grove, and our 9th grade team beat West Rush JV team, so undefeated so far this weekend or this week.
Caden points the wrong direction as somebody went the wrong way. As Caden does a good job burning 1 minute of clock there as we go down under 3:30 left to play. It was right, it was left, it was my gosh, let's get upfield.
If you're going to have that play, have it at 3 minutes left when you have a 21-point lead instead of early in the game. So
I'll take it, but brings up 2nd down and 11 as the Buckeyes regroup, run some play clock here. 20 seconds left as Coach Metzel is going to make sure that this is hopefully the last drive of this game for the Buckeyes.
Well, and this is the Buckeyes version of, running time off the clock. It's a little bit different than the old standard, but it's still what they're doing.
Just as effective. 2nd down and 11. 2 seconds, 1 second, and the Buckeyes don't get it snapped, and we've got a whistle, and that's going to move them back 5 yards. That is going to be
there was some miscommunication there. I could see our offensive coaches over there upset and yelling something at the quarterback. I'm not sure, obviously, exactly what they were saying.
Yeah, I can tell you what it was, Joe. It was play clock,
right.
and Caden with 3 seconds instead of snapping and saying, huh?
Yeah.
Looking at the sideline. And that's just something that's going to come with experience, is that you just have that invisible play clock in the back of your head. And Caden obviously will adjust to that. But now the Buckeye offense has got to adjust to 2nd down and 15 and keep the ball in a running fashion. Caden's going to take it around the right side by himself and does pick up 10 yards, gets it down to the 37. It's going to be 3rd down, and let's call it 5. But Caden does not go out of bounds. That's a good move on his part for sure. That's
good,
a non-sophomore move.
So we had a sophomore move with not watching the clock, followed by a non-sophomore move by staying in bounds on the run.
Well, he is a sophomore, so we'll take those positives and not count the negatives against him. But 3rd down and probably 4-down territory, as we're under 2 minutes when we snap this ball, Joe, and the Buckeyes still have number 22 back there, and all you got to do is just give him an inch, and he will take it to the house. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it to 22 straight up, and here's Will. He goes around the right-hand corner and can't escape, but stays in bounds once again. But we've got an offensive lineman that's down.
Helped him up quickly.
He got kicked in the shin. Okay. I'm not sure that was a knee. Yeah. Maybe that was a shin shot or got kicked.
I don't think it was a knee. He probably wouldn't have gotten up that quick. But hopefully he's all right. He's limping around a little bit, but he's like, hey, man, we got a minute and a half left. I'm not coming out.
Coach.
I want to be on the field when they blow this whistle.
Yeah, Coach Metzel taking his sweet time, and I think he's probably going to milk this down and take a timeout on 4th down, and
Or go ahead and take the penalty and punt it.
Yeah, maybe so, but I think he'll probably go for it. He's got a play in mind here with 4 seconds left, but he'll milk it all the way down to 1 second. Take the timeout with 1 minute and 6 seconds left. We'll take a timeout with him probably for the last time of the night. Appreciate all our sponsors, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Invite the Buckeye Nation to visit our new full-service bank in Gilmer. We're conveniently located on Highway 271 and Rebud Street with a brand new facility ready to serve our friends and neighbors. We offer competitive rates on all of our deposit products, as well as some great options for business financing to help your business grow from 5 employees to 500 employees. Texas Heritage National Bank would also like to take this time to thank all the teachers, administrators, and school board for investing in the future of our kiddos. We'd also like to wish all the student athletes a wonderful and safe year. Come see us soon.
And we're back to Texarkana, folks, where the Buckeyes will punt the ball. Big Chris will stand about midfield and punt this one away with 1:06 left to play in the game. Buckeyes comfortably 35-14, 3-score lead. Once again, they will maintain that 95+% winning clip when they score 35 or 30 or more points.
Well, this will also be our 4th straight win against Pleasant Grove.
Check up.
What a perfect punt.
Oh, what a perfect save.
Wow, right there.
And guess who? Number 22.
They
Will
got
Henderson.
that time, like they tried to do earlier in the first, in the game, but they did it that time. But so Todd was saying here that this is going to be the 4th straight victory over Pleasant Grove.
Huge. After you talk about Joe, there were 4 straight wins by Pleasant Grove that shut the Buckeyes for 2 years out of district championships, which they had won 16 times in a row. And interrupted with a couple of those state championships in 2017 and 2019 that you see up there on in the south end zone, the north end zone for Pleasant Grove. So this is the number 3 team in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I can't tell you how impressed I am with the Buckeyes. And honestly, I think that is the number 3 team in the state.
Yeah,
they shouldn't drop it. They shouldn't drop one bit.
I agree with you.
Yep, number 7 now. Tell you what, I see now. Why number 8's not been running the ball as much. It is kind of amazing considering that he is the 8th rated running back in his class in the nation, and he's barely touched it tonight. Yeah. So I'm not sure if we know all the details about that. But number 7 came into this game 700 yards rushing in 5 games, and I can see why.
Yeah, you see why. They hand it to him again, and he just gets cut down 3 yards deep. Yeah. And that's going to pretty much do it. Under 30 seconds, Coach Gibson and Mr. Johnson don't have to snap it again. And I don't think
12th straight district win. Last time, in fact, we lost a district game in 2019 to Pleasant Grove.
They went on to win the state championship that year. But I tell you what, Joe, it is a huge hurdle when you look at the first game of the second half of this season, which is district.
And think about this. We've played 5 ball games now. All 5 teams that the Buckeyes played were ranked in the preseason top 20. 4 of those teams were in Division 1 4A, and Pleasant Grove, of course, in our Division 2. So the Buckeyes have opened the season with 5 games against top 20 teams, and man,
yeah.
I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, I thought we had just as good a chance of losing 2 or 3 games as we did of winning all of them.
Yeah, I did too. It's going to be just chunk it up deep as far as you can throw it. And number 12, Tyson Wilson.
Oh, come on now. There we go.
Catch is going to be made.
Well, it pads our stats a little bit,
that's right.
So
didn't really make a lot of difference. It wasn't real pretty as Tyson Wilson had that covered. Just didn't make the adjustment with the ball in the air.
Now, we know the Buckeyes don't want to give up a touchdown here with 25 seconds left, so this means a lot to them. And, of course, it means a lot to Pleasant Grove. They're, go out on a high note if they can manage to get one here, and that's why they call the timeout, because they want to say, hey, guys, let's have a series of 2 or 3 plays that we can do that maybe we can go down and score. And, the Buckeyes are tired, and they know they won the ball game. So their coach is over there trying to pick them up, too, and say, hey, guys, come on. Yeah, let's don't end this without them no score.
I'm pulling for Pleasant Grove from here on in, and I can tell you I hope we see them again, which means that they'll have taken out the Carthage Bulldogs if we do see them again.
Although I would like to play Carthage. Let's just put it like that. So
something tells me that that we're going to see that matchup whether we like it or not. That's the next.
I wanted to play them last year.
Yeah, that's the mountain to climb for these Buckeyes, but. They do take a huge first step in getting this district win and probably a district championship, as these are 2 of the top teams in the state, obviously. Johnson back in under center. They put some man in motion. He's going to drop back to pass. The Buckeyes are coming after him. He's going to pull it down and run, but he gets out of bounds with 18 seconds left, picks up 5 yards, and Coach Metzel is just going to say, look, let's keep him in front of us. Everybody stay healthy, and let's get out of here.
Well, you said it. More than likely, this should be the district championship. But I will say that I believe most of the teams in the district are better than they were last year. It doesn't mean that Gilmer shouldn't be favored and shouldn't win those ball games, but I think the teams in the district are getting a little bit better, and that's kind of the challenge for the Buckeyes. That's why they stacked the schedule early in non-district, because they knew that after Pleasant Grove, it wasn't going to face as much competition, and you need to get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, and you got to get ready for your arch nemesis in the playoffs that's now in our division. in terms of the region. Johnson back to pass. He gets sacked, and that's going to end the ball game with 10 seconds left. And let's see if they're not going to call timeout. They're going to end this game. And the Buckeyes are going to take a big W and go 1-0 in district, folks, with their biggest foe, and most likely set themselves up for a third straight district championship. Huge win, 35-14 by the Buckeyes. Not expected by the experts, but
let's say one more thing. We appreciate you watching, but we need you to come to these away games too and watch these kids in person. I've noticed a decline in the fans at the games, especially away games, because they like to stay home, which I understand, and watch on TV. But if you're a real Buckeye fan and you can make it, please come out and watch these kids and cheer them on, because they cannot hear you cheering for them from the couch.
Yeah, the Army's got to show up, folks, as it gets cool and it's not hot anymore. And there's not a lot of excuses. These young men have absolutely earned the right for you to come out and pull for them and show your support. And once again, we appreciate it, and we really appreciate what we see now. Both these teams, with all the utmost respect for each other, gathering at midfield.
Pray. Coach
Gibson and Coach Metzel both going to pray with these two teams collectively.
Can't love that more.
You just can't love that more. You just can't love that more. As both those men, Coach Gibson and Coach Metzel, are really made out of the exact same thing and trying to accomplish the same thing.
Look at them addressing the teams together.
Yeah.
All right, so these are two teams that have literally battled each other for years. And they get out there at the end of the game and they're both talking to the teams together. And I'm just can't love this more. I love these two coaches. I love the programs. I love the competition. I love the respect. That's why these wins feel so good, because you know how good a program this is.
Yeah, and not just that, but that's why.
Yeah.
The reason that those is because you got men out there that care more about football, but they care about more the young men that are playing this sport than they do about the outcome of the game. And you got a whole bunch of stuff to put on the resume between those two guys that are standing up in your picture right there.
And what a sign of respect. You know, when you prepare like this, and they had a week off, as well to get ready for this. They know it's a district championship battle. You go out here and you battle, and Pleasant Grove has got to be just disappointed. I mean, just how it is. I mean, and I never played in a game of this significance, but just losing the game is just heartbreaking. And they go out there and they show respect and they get together, and coach, instead of just consoling his own team and trying to say something, they get out there and they do something together. I mean, if these kids out there right now don't understand what that means, they will eventually.
Yeah, and you know what? It's what makes us us.
Look at them praying together.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you got two whole school systems that are joined together and pulling for each other, and it doesn't get any better than that, folks. It's as good as it gets. We'll leave you with that picture. Buckeyes win 35-14, big victory, and more importantly, big victory down at midfield right now. We love to see that. All right, Buckeye fans, we'll see you next week at home as these undefeated, top-ranked Gilmer Buckeyes come back home. They deserve your support. The Army's got to show up. It is fall, and it is that time of year where the Buckeyes do what the Buckeyes do. We'll see you next week at home next Friday night. Once again, for myself, Todd Robinson, our color man tonight, Joe Dodd. Appreciate our sponsors and appreciate you. Buckeyes win. See you next week.